Welcome back, everybody, to the Bean Ton Boys podcast. Now, hopefully the audio is not terrible today.
And
hang on. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Nope, I got it.
No, I want to mention
Nope.
something.
Nope. You're not going to mention it
I'm going to mention it.
until I mention my thing.
Don't mention your thing.
I got it. So we're joined.
No. That's what I wanted to mention.
I don't care.
We'll mention it together.
All right. We're joined by a very special guest.
Somebody we've talked about before.
None other. The film watcher himself.
And he's already asked more questions than Dylan.
There it is. I mean, Dylan might be fired. We'll let
see.
you know.
Judge it by the episode, how
Yeah.
it goes.
We know he's listening right now
Oh, yeah.
when he's hearing this. So, Dylan, he's
Guy's
shaking
trying to
his
listen
boots.
to it live.
Yeah.
He's outside with like
He's
the
out-
Spy Kids toys, and he has it up to the window.
None other than Mr. Evan, the beta male LeBlanc himself. There he is.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on,
What's
boys?
going on? The beta male himself.
Bones here.
Beta here.
All right, man. So let's get right into it.
Get right into it.
Now, since this is Evan's episode, and he's probably not going to be back for a while.
Probably not.
Probably never.
Probably never.
Guy has a schedule that's compiled of a bunch of miscellaneous things that
Yep.
nobody knows about other than him.
Yep. So this is his episode. So what do you got for us, Evan? Let's get into it.
I really want to talk about Vegas' goalie future. I mean, we all know that it's going to be Leonard.
Did
Robin.
you hear the report that came out? Though,
Yeah, they're going to offer him 5x5.
No, on NHL.com. They said,
You use that website?
no, I saw it on Twitter, you asshat.
All right.
Anyways, but that's how you know that it's actually, real news. It's not like fucking Puck Empire on Instagram saying it.
It's NHL trade rumors.
the worst
So,
Instagram account.
So, on Twitter I saw, he's getting 5 for 5. They're going to announce it soon. And then he actually came out himself and denied that.
Well, I mean,
NHL Discussion said that on Instagram, so.
it's you know what? That's actually smart though, because I mean they're down 3-1 as of this recording. Well, let's say they come back and win, go to the finals, win the cup, right?
And he's like,
You think it's 5 for 5?
No, it's going to
Yeah.
be
that
like...
5 for 7 sounding real nice right now.
No, we're gonna start for 5 for 10. We're gonna start there, and
Even
then
though
you're
he
gonna
knows
walk
he's
me
not
back.
gonna get- Yeah, you have to reel me in.
Yeah.
See, my problem, he's never, really found a home. He's, jumped everywhere. Well, not everywhere,
But
but
he's,
he's jumped a couple
We've talked
teams.
about this before.
Since he's got his mental health on track and he's been consistently in a good place, fantastic.
He's been great.
He's been fantastic.
Absolutely. Because he was dealing with, alcoholism, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Drugs, alcohol. I mean,
Depression, I think.
None of our
was in-
business.
Yeah.
He was in a bad place. So that's the best way to explain it. And by a bad place, I mean mentally. He was also in Buffalo.
Yeah, also in Buffalo.
Also
Didn't help.
Buffalo.
Didn't help.
Not one bit. Definitely.
Maybe if he
did
was on
not help.
Tampa, he would have been fine. But
Maybe Stammer would have been like, "Hey man, you all right?" But no, they had Jekyll, and Jekyll's like, "This is my team," and then fucking
Gets
their
two
management
GMs
was just
fired.
wasn't there. Their management was there, but they weren't.
now they're really not there because they got fired.
I mean, who else do you have on that team? Fucking Evan Rodriguez. He's gone.
Yeah, he's on
Jeff Skinner.
Jeff Skinner's there. Ooh.
9 mil.
Ooh.
9 mil a year. For what did he put up? Is it under or over 20 he put up?
I think it was under. But
Yeah,
what did he?
It was a low.
What did he put up in the contract year? 40 or was it 50?
Worth it, dude. Worth
It
it.
was a little over 40, I think.
He's worth it.
Dude, he had
Dude,
one
he's
good
worth
year.
Every cent.
Dude, okay, hang on. Buffalo, here's a take. Their situation up front is like Boston's situation. They just don't have the defense and the goaltending.
No,
It's
we
the
got
same
the goal.
situation.
Yeah, but Buffalo is a franchise player.
Well, we do too.
Franchise center.
Center.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, Bruins have
Pastrnak.
1, 2. You got McAvoy. I mean, you got former franchise players in Bergeron and Marchand because they're not going to be there for much longer.
Marchand's still a franchise player currently. Bergeron,
I think
He's still really good.
he's
kid.
he went from a medium elite to a low franchise.
Kid.
I mean, he's going to a medium elite from a franchise.
Yeah, low franchise. Yeah, there you go.
I think we have a gem in the system though.
Jakob Lauko.
Shut up.
Not-
He's from
I know-
University of Maine.
No, he's not, dude.
Jeremy Swayman.
I don't go to the University of Maine. What are you talking about?
Shut up. No, I think we got a gem in Swayman.
Yeah, Swayman's going to be a stud.
Yeah, you
He's
got
gonna- I
Swayman,
think
you got
we got a
Vlad.
gem.
Like you have.
So's Lauko.
But he got injured though, right? I
And
think
he
in like
came back and scored 2 goals in his debut in the whatever league he's playing in.
Is he playing?
He's fine.
Yep.
Was he in Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay.
They loaned him over there because they want him to play hockey.
Yep.
You know, so
Yeah, that's usually good.
he's not sitting
for
there like
developing.
a fucking jackass.
Yeah.
Kind of like what JFK did.
But
Not John
JFK
F.
just
Kennedy. Fly high, my man JFK.
it's Jacob F. Kennedy.
Jacob F. Kennedy.
Is it actually Jacob?
Yeah, his name's Jacob Forsbacher Carlson.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
Forza-
Kenny. I'm like, his name's like Jacob.
No, fucking idiot.
His name
Talking
is Joe
about-
Francis Kennedy.
Because he went to go play back in Sweden,
Well,
right?
that was for family reasons.
Right. Yeah, I remember reading,
And even
reading
still, I
about
mean,
that.
he's a pretty one-dimensional player. It's two-way game, and he kind of lacks anything else. At least Lauko can bring all of that. He's just like 160 pounds, so he
Yeah,
gets tossed around.
he's a small guy.
He gets tossed around, but
Hey, man.
But hey, let's get back on track. So, where do you think is Robin Leonard going to be a Golden Knight next season?
No, he's staying. You can
I don't
the
think there's
way
any reason to
the way Fleury's been playing and the age that Fleury's at. There's no way you
What's he,
decide to
35?
keep him. I don't
34,
know, but
35?
I mean, he's even still like if he was 35 and he was lights out, all right, sure, but he wasn't.
Or do you bring both of them back for next season and split the job in half?
no,
Yeah, that
Fleury
ain't gonna work.
definitely still needs to be a starting goaltender.
Yeah,
Well, where do you see him going?
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Kraken. I'm not gonna lie.
well, that's a year.
Yeah, that's
that's
a
a
year
year out.
So I mean, maybe he signs a 1-year deal with
He's definitely going to sign a
team,
1
and
year.
then they don't protect him, or he just
I'd-
leaves and goes there.
I'd
because
like to see Buffalo. I'd love to see Buffalo.
This guy.
he's
go
not gonna.
out
There's no reason for him
and
to go to
sign
a
Fleury.
contending team because he's going to be a backup,
No, I
unless
don't
he goes
think
to
so.
Minnesota.
If
Fleury's not a
Fleury
backup.
goes to Edmonton, he's going to start.
He's starting no matter what, unless Edmonton. Well,
But
I'm
yeah,
sure
they
you've heard,
haven't
like-
really been looking at him. They're looking more at like Darcy Kemper, and
No, Edmonton's looking like Anderson. I thought.
they were looking at Darcy Kemper. Well,
Well, everyone's looking at
everybody
Anderson.
would like a Frederick Anderson. They'd rather suck in October and be good in fucking
Yeah.
May.
I mean, I don't. I'm pretty out on Freddie right now. I just don't. Not even for Freddie. Like, it's not even his fault. I just don't think the team's played good enough to deserve that last year of that cap hit. Like,
Yeah, no,
the team doesn't
he's-
deserve it.
I mean, if the Leafs don't trade him, he's definitely out. Which brings an opportunity. What if Fleury goes to the Leafs? That wouldn't be bad. A new style. I mean,
I don't hate it for like a cup. Like, I don't know, because there's so many options. Like, you'd have to ruin every other option, and then you're like landing on Fleury.
He would help out the game because of the fact that he likes to play the puck and he moves around a
Yeah,
lot.
so does Freddie. And how does that work out?
Fleury plays it better than Freddie.
It works out 80% of the time, and then that 20, you're
Hey,
losing your mind.
Hey, the percentages are in his favor.
Yeah, but those 20% is what? Like 8% of those 8% of that 20, like out of 100, there's that 20% that doesn't go well. And then I'd say like half of that time that ends up in a goal against. That like you got to have a higher percentage than that. Just play it less so your percentage is cuz he takes risks, that's the problem. With like
man.
puck moving goalies,
High
like they
risk,
take
high
risks.
reward.
So what is the reward?
Maybe you guys score a goal.
Pecorine.
Maybe
Mike
he
Smith.
scores a goal.
Yaroslav Halak in, was it game 4? Gave it to Nino Niederreiter for the, remember that? I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, Leo Brown could have done that.
Hey man.
Hey, my man's
But
man's Leo Brown has some sauces, okay?
There
yeah,
it is.
but I don't know.
I don't miss. I'm built different.
The goalie future for Vegas is unknown. I mean, they don't have any good.
I mean, I
in
think
the
it's
process. I mean, it's clear, but
It's
like,
uncertain right now, but I think there's definitely a clear path that if it's all based upon term. I don't think Laners really cares too much about the money. It's more he wants commitment out of the team.
because
So it's
he's never
all
really
about
been
term.
committed to a team. Really.
doesn't he have kids?
I don't know.
I have
I'm not
no
too
clue.
sure.
Because if he's got kids, that's kind of
But
playing into it.
but say Vegas gets knocked out of the Western Conference Final, do they bring back Leonard? Or do they? Well, I mean, do they have?
They can't even afford 5 for 5. They have to move money up.
I feel like they're kind of in like a tight situation. I mean,
Well, they got their own damn fault. They were like, oh, we have to reach this cap went way over the fact by taking. I mean, yes, they took shitty contracts to get good players and draft picks and stuff like that, but it's backfiring now because now they have no room.
Well, aren't
He
they
does
paying?
have-
Aren't they paying Mark Stone like $9 million a year? It's something
a lot.
close to that.
He does have kids.
He does.
He's
Okay.
got Zoe Leonard and Lennox Leonard.
Yes,
Lennox.
that
I
name
love
is
it.
badass.
I love it.
Lennox.
Yeah. I'm going to pull up their cap right
How
now
do
while
you
we're
fuck
talking
with
about
a kid
this.
named Lennox?
You don't.
You don't fuck
You don't.
with that
He's
dude.
built different.
He is.
He's built different.
He's that guy that's shirtless, look in the mirror with a sideways hat, take a picture. Like, you don't mess with him.
Is he wearing Tim's?
Of course. Of course he's
Is he
not even a
wearing
question.
Timbs?
And
Yeah.
when he's like 5 years old, is he getting the kids meal or is he getting the Travis Scott burger?
No, you know what he's getting? A whole ass fucking meal. He's not ordering up the kids' meal. He's not ordering some fucking weird ass fucking trend meal. No.
One of everything.
This guy's getting like 3/4 pounders of fucking 2 large fries.
But does he also get the Charlie? Does the
No,
Renegade
he-
just order the
Guy
Charlie?
rolls in the dunks real quick.
Zoe would get the Charlie.
Does the Renegade to
She'd
get
be
the Charlie?
doing like the Renegade shit. Like she'd be getting the Travis Scott meal. No. Lennox, that guy goes to Five Guys, okay? He gets a real burger.
Alright, so their cap room for next season is 16 and a half. So they have a lot of space. But
Yeah, but who's the free agents? that
You
they
got-
have on the team?
you got Lanner. You got John Merrill. Okay. Derek England. He's 38, fine. You have Nick Cousins, Chandler Stevenson, Thomas Nosek. Not a lot of big name guys.
Hey, I say you trade for a backup. Just I don't know who they would
Just
go
sign
after.
A backup. There's
Just sign
plenty
a
of guys
backup.
out there.
You know, it doesn't have to be stellar.
And you can move Flurry. You move that 7 mil.
Hey,
I mean,
I'm
that's
telling
huge.
you, if they dish out like $8.5 million, go after a guy like Braden Holtby.
See, it's like,
They're a win. Okay, so it's kind of weird since they're only in their 3rd season, but it's almost like they're in like a win now mentality.
it's the way
It's really weird.
they did way better than they were supposed to.
Oh,
Which helps because Seattle's paying a lot of money, so it's really helping
Yeah.
out the league.
I mean, I think it sucks for Seattle because now there's a wicked high expectation for them to go in
Yeah,
and
but
do good.
they're going to have. So, other than Vegas, has there ever been an expansion team that was that good? Wasn't like the Panthers? Didn't the Panthers make
Panthers
they
in
made
their-
the final?
It was their 3rd year in the
Yeah.
league. They made the final and got.
But
absolutely
that's still pretty good,
But
though.
cock
usually
smacked.
teams don't be good. But why did Vegas do?
Yeah, I
so
think
good?
Washington had like an 8-win season or something.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
first
it
year.
was dog shit.
It's terrible.
I mean, they have the recipe for success. They have really good management.
Yeah.
Gallant was a good coach. Whoever they have now,
DeBoer.
Yep.
DeBoer, he's a good coach. I mean, like,
Yep.
they have everything they need to win.
Yeah, they don't need anything else.
They have the depth. All they need is really just another like minute crunching defenseman.
I'm
If they
gonna-
could get-
like-
I'm gonna
if they
dis-
could get one more solid defenseman, I mean, I think that would just put them right.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
gonna-
yeah, I think they just get the bounces to go their way. There's nothing that can stop them.
Hey, don't need bounces to go your way if you don't make bounce.
I'm
There
gonna
it
have to
is.
disagree with you that they need a piece. I think they do. I don't think they have a number 1 center. I don't think Wild Bill. I don't think he's a number 1
He
center.
plays
I think he's a good.
Susie, doesn't he?
I think he fluctuates between 1 and 2.
Who are you
But
talking about?
Vegas.
No, like which center?
Well, no, I'm saying,
Oh, yeah,
I'm saying they don't have a 1 seat like
They
obviously
have like a 1B 1B Stasny.
Stastny. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
Stastny's good.
Yeah, but
they
play
need to
him
go
with,
out.
They play him with Stone and
But,
fucking Pageant.
Yeah, it's like they don't have a 1 AC, you're right, but they also have Mark Stone, who kind of
It's kind of
He-
makes up for that.
yeah he makes up for that defensive because you want a 1A not for the scoring, you want for the defense.
Right.
All right,
Well, you
well,
want
you
a
got
nice
Mark
two-way,
Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have Pacioretty, who's also a good two-way forward.
Yeah, they're just a great 2-way team.
And both can put 30, 40 goals in the net.
But then
Yeah.
do you want like a center that can score?
William Karlsson has proven he can score.
He
He might
once.
just be a one-hit
Once.
wonder, but
I
I mean, he can put in
I mean,
about
he's
20
decent.
goals.
Yeah,
And
he's good.
Stastny's a great playmaker, so having him with 2 guys that can put the puck in the back of the fucking net.
I mean, you just have just a great, hard-working 2-way team that's just gonna outskate you and out-hit you. They
Which
don't
they
have the top end skill, but they have enough skill to keep possession and control the game. Because watching the game last night, through the first 2 periods until Dallas woke up, it was all Vegas. Like the shots were, I think it was like 25-6 at one point. It was crazy.
It was Dallas isn't getting a lot of shots on goal, but
no,
I don't know.
They get really good opportunities.
Yeah,
I will say that.
pretty much every shot they have is a high danger shot. Like almost all of them. I mean, Lehner had to make some great saves. Like when they woke up, he had to be ready. It wasn't just a couple of outside rebound shots. He's like, all right, now I'm getting warmed up here, and then they get the
Something that,
shots.
I mean, he's one of those goalies that can do that. That's not something that very many people can do. Is they can play the slow shit, fucking rebound, kick it out, make a couple shit saves, and then immediately high voltage.
Like
He can make that jump in an instant.
if Freddie hypothetically was on Vegas, he would not play well. He likes seeing the puck. He likes shots. He likes getting worked, and he plays well when he's getting worked.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to get worked on Vegas.
Yeah. I know. I guess it's just how their strategy is.
They got room. They got options. They have smart guys in the office.
Vegas will be a very good team for
Yeah, they'll be
years to
fine.
come. I have a prediction. Next season, Mark Stone's going to be the captain.
Oh, dude.
I think that's a no-brainer.
It could
Yeah.
be him, but Patches has that experience too, so you could always give
but
it
the
to Patches.
contract that they signed Mark Stone is like, we want you here for a very long time.
Doesn't mean you have to make him captain. Look at Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner.
Yeah, but that was...
Mitch Marner has a big contract. Doesn't mean that he needs to be a captain.
no, it's because he was being greedy. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right.
He was being
when you're
greedy.
right, you're right.
I mean, I don't think
I think Theodore's also deserved it too.
Yeah, Theodore's been
Theodore's
fucking
been
amazing.
under the radar. Anaheim's
always-
kicking themselves in the ass right now.
I've
They're
always
kicking.
said
He wasn't going to be that if he was in Anaheim, though.
Really
No.
think so?
he
Like,
needed
he
that
wasn't going to
step.
get. I mean, dude,
They weren't
look
gonna-
at
I mean,
what
they had
Anaheim's
Cam Fowler
decor
and
was.
Hampus
He's not.
Lindholm.
He wasn't
but
going to
they
get
had
minutes.
Lindholm, Vatanen Vatanen was
Vatanen
still
was
there.
there at the point.
At the point, he was still there, and then they had Cam Fowler.
But
Yeah,
I
he
said
was-
back then that he's an underrated defenseman. He's going to be a star.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, he's exactly what I've said he's become. He's become a, I mean,
He's
an
become the
elite
number one
defenseman.
16-year-old kid predicting the future. I know, look at this guy. Yeah.
Hey, I did. I mean, I usually have some hot takes, but
You also said Mika Zibanejad as a star player. So
dude.
pipe down there, kid.
he is. He's a star player.
He
in my
is.
heart.
Honestly,
I love him.
underrated.
Underrated. Not a
Underrated.
star.
Ottawa, you should be. If someone from the
Medium
Ottawa
franchise.
organization is listening, probably not. But listen, you are a freaking idiot for trading away.
Hey, man, dude, Derek Brassard.
Wow.
You-
Hey,
Derek
man.
Brassard, my
Derek
man.
freaking
Hey, man.
Brassard.
Hey. Who's farther in the playoffs right now?
Derek Brassard.
There it is.
There he is.
There it is.
What I love is that the Pittsburgh Penguins turned Derek Brassard into a conditional 7th round pick. Traded Nick freaking Bukestad to the Minnesota Wild for a conditional pick.
That's kind of yummy.
Yeah, it was a cap dump, though.
I mean, yeah. It is what it is. I liked the move Montreal made. 5th round pick for Joel Edmondson.
I like that.
Yeah,
too.
UFA guy.
It's just for the rights to talk to him, but even
Yeah.
still, like,
Hey, it happened to Kevin
that could be
Hayes.
big.
Well, I mean, he's signing there. Because, I mean, all you got to do is just talk to Jim, say, hey, go ask his agent if he would sign here. His agent's like, all right. And then there you go. Trade's made.
And it used to be that something the CBA changed, but it used to be that like it would be a conditional pick. So if he signed in Montreal, then the pick would go to Carolina. But now they don't want that anymore. So
Saving
Montreal
GMs
has
from
to
themselves.
They have to give a flat pick. Like it has to be the actual pick.
Yep.
Right. There is no condition on it. If he doesn't sign, then you don't get a pick.
Yeah.
Because then
I swore I saw that it was a conditional pick.
It was conditional, but, like, it's probably, I don't know.
no,
I
it's the
think
5th round pick.
That,
the 5th round.
no. They can do conditionals. It's still the 2021 season, so they can do conditional picks. Next year, they can't. Because that
No,
came in.
I saw
That
that
came
on-
in when they were negotiating the CBA during the break.
I saw that on Cap Friendly was that they were not allowed to do a conditional pick in order to based off signing. The condition could be something else.
Yeah, they
Based
changed
off
the
signing.
rule, but that rule will come into effect next year. Can't make changes. The NHL doesn't like doing that.
Technically, that
Well,
make that change.
You know where Kid gets his information from?
Cap
NHL
friendly.
trade rumors.
No, I got it on Cap
no,
friendly. I don't
Steve
go on-
Dangle, smart insider man. I love it.
Gets it from third party. Who do you guys think the final's going to be between? I mean, like,
I really thought it was going to be Vegas, but I don't know.
I think it's going to be Dallas, Tampa.
Dallas is, they keep,
I don't.
You know what I have to say about Tampa? Fuck Tampa. All my homies hate Tampa. All my homies hate Stammer.
He's
You
not even playing. No, you know what? Since we're on Tampa, I will say, as talented as Kucherov is, he's a fucking scumbag.
Oh yeah, I did not like that, and I'm glad that Pajot went after him after he.
That's
shot the
childish.
empty net.
What
It
he did
is.
was fucking childish. You're up 2-0 in a series. You have no, just because you're
You're not-
losing one game, you have no reason to be a fucking dickhead. He's intentionally trying to hurt somebody because he's losing. It's fucking stupid. It's childish.
I agree. I'm surprised the league should look at that. To be honest, I mean I know that they're not, but
There's no
come
need
on.
for that in the league
At
at
least
all.
fine him for
he
being-
didn't do anything dangerous. He slashed him a lot, but he didn't touch the back of the knees, so it's fine.
And it's not the first time that he's done this fucking
No,
stupid shit. He does it every time
he-
that his team's fucking losing.
He fits that stereotype of a Russian dude, the Russian dude being calm right up until the end, and then he gets hot
Did you
headed.
say Russia being a commie?
No.
I mean, the board in the Columbus series last year.
Oh yeah,
That was
I remember
completely
that. Yep.
unwarranted and unneeded.
Yeah.
Because they're losing. He gets
Well, now
pissed.
he knows he
does
shouldn't do that, so now he's
Now he's gonna
slashing,
do
so he's
this.
approved.
He's hooking him. He's slashing him. I mean, he's pretty much getting. He's right at the point where he's about to start butt fucking Pajot in the middle of the ice, and it's like
Goes
Dude.
on OnlyFans.
you need to fucking chill out. You're up 2-0 in the series.
Now, I think it'll be Dallas and Tampa. I really wanted Vegas to, like, because it's a great story of
Oh, yeah.
a franchise, like an expansion team winning a cup that soon, but, like, they can't get a bounce.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it is. They can't
Which
get
is
a bounce.
unfortunate because the opportunity is there.
Oh, my
it's just
God, yeah.
Khudobin's a freaking brick wall.
No, dude, it's not that, because the rebounds he gives up are not the rebounds that NHL starters give up. Like, he's landing a lot of stuff, bounce out of his glove. He's putting a lot of things back into the slot off of the pads. It's just Dallas's defensive commitment that's keeping them in it. And they're getting the bounces by, like, there was a rebound shot by Pacioretty that missed the net, wide open net, and he just had to shoot it through the guy's legs, and it goes wide. Like, they can't get a bounce to go their way. But if they do, they can come back. I just don't.
Saying they're missing one piece. They're one piece away from being a championship caliber team.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get the bounces 3 games in a row, so
No,
I'll take
I don't
Dallas.
think so. I think they're done. But yeah, no, I'm gonna say, you know what? Just because I want a nice
No, I don't
Cinderella
know what.
story, Dallas is winning the cup. That'd be interesting.
Do I think that they're going to come back and
No.
beat
I
Tampa?
don't
think so.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I'd like to see the Islanders win it. They haven't won it in a while. I mean, it's also a big fuck you to John Tavares.
I mean, yeah, but, like, you really think they're going to go deep with them? Because without them, they have that energy.
No, I just find it funny. That's all. Just John Tavares and all the memes. Like when he's, have you seen the one where he's sleeping?
Yep.
It's like you sleeping knowing you chose the wrong team.
Honestly, I feel like teams just, they don't need that star player so that everyone else can rise. I feel like the fame and the attention was always on John Tavares, but once he left, players like Josh Bailey,
Well, who's it on now?
it's definitely on Barzal.
Yeah, so it's the same thing, just a different guy.
But I don't think, like, obviously Tavares is much better than Barzal. Well, in some aspects of the game.
Overall game, yeah. But if you want to
skill,
go off of vision and playmaking, the Barzal
Yeah,
blows him out of the
but
water.
skating.
It's not.
Yeah.
See,
That
Barzal's
flies.
not like the number one, superstar. He's not like when you say the New York Islanders.
He will be.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He will be.
New York Islanders. You think of Jordan?
No,
I mean, hey, dude,
hey, dude,
he's been really good.
and you know who's been really good? Beauvillier.
Yeah.
So good. I feel like they got a
Like him.
real gem in him, to be honest. So I'm excited to see what the
Where's my guy Josh Hosang at? Wearing 66.
Probably buried in the minors still. I don't know.
Honestly, that's another story. They should trade him. They should trade him 1-for-1 for Puljujärvi.
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 Yes, he
share the same value. They don't.
You think Playarvy's better?
Yeah, and
From Kobe's mother. Just kidding.
guys, are you actually going to FaceTime right now?
Yeah.
Who is it? Is it Emma?
No, it's not.
I was going to say you should answer it.
No, it's someone. Just remember Tyler?
Oh, don't talk about that. Yeah, you guys listen at home. Yeah, you guys have you know Tyler. Yeah, well,
Dude,
Tyler Sagan?
Dude, I got Tyler.
you know Tyler.
Tyler Sagan, dude.
No, so
Honestly, I feel like Barstow could be a superstar if he wasn't playing on the Islanders, because
I hope he accepts an offer sheet.
well, like,
oh my.
because he's still playing the Islanders system, but he gets a little bit more freedom.
Hey, listen, I hate talking about Barzal because it hurts me. Because we had 3 fucking chances.
Three.
To draft Barzal. We could have
Barzal,
Barzal
Kyle Connor, and
or
Tom
Shabbat. And you know who we picked? Fucking Zach Sinishin, JD. Also disappointed. In fucking Zaboral. Are you kidding me?
I mean, hang on though.
At the point,
Hang on.
At the point, those were the best picks.
Hang on though. They still hit 2 out of 3. Zaboral can still make the NHL.
Sinishin's literally fighting for a spot right now.
So okay, 2.5 out of 3. That's not bad for a late first round. That's not bad. It's not Barzal. But who knows if Barzal could have become that in
player.
Boston? You don't know.
I mean, we
We all
can't.
know how Boston
can we-
likes to develop forwards.
Well, it's
Not
just
at all.
it's a different path, it's a different system, it's different. Like you don't know because Barzal
Barzal
could
doesn't
have.
fit that system the way Boston plays.
Yeah,
think
Barzal
he does.
could have needed exactly what the Islanders have to become what he is. Like, we don't know. Probably not, but same
Tom
with
Shabbat, I think, was just going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways, Eric Carlson said that at his age, when they were the same age, Tom Shabbat is a lot farther ahead than Eric Carlson.
well, yeah.
Would you actually imagine having Shabbat?
It's a good problem to have.
Imagine having Shabbat and McAvoy.
Not really.
Like,
yeah, it
on
is.
phase,
I
they
see
can't do
not-
shit.
I like to find.
Wait,
I
so
didn't
hang
think that-
on. Let me get this straight. So you don't want too many good players. That's what you're telling me. You don't want too many good players?
Right.
There's a reason that his
The-
franchise modes fail.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
Jeez.
whoa.
Really going there, huh?
You want to go there? I make some of the best trades around town.
Yeah, how many comes to you in 1 in 20 seasons?
Yeah. You're right. But you know what? They're quality seasons.
I guarantee you they're quality seasons.
No, because I don't want my team to be in that category.
Yeah, you do.
I don't want to be in the least position.
Dude,
I'm-
they're
you know-
RFAs. You have complete control over them. If they don't like it, trade them.
Or they sit out. I'm not all about that.
You can still trade them. Their value stays the same.
The thing I like about Boston is they're about being a team.
Wait. Hang on. So the other 30 NHL teams
Well, because
aren't
they're not.
teams.
No,
Well,
they're
well,
individuals.
remember
My
the
bad.
whole Nylander thing, and then they asked Pasternak about that, and he said that he didn't care about the money. Well, that was at the time, but let's hope that he still has that mentality. But he said he didn't care about the money; he cared about the game.
No, he just wasn't Pasternak when he signed the deal.
So you saying that he's going to be a $9 million
His
player?
contract year kind of begged to differ there.
What did he put up in his contract year?
It's like
It was
70
like
something points.
70 points, 35 goals.
Yeah, and he would have hit 50 if the season stayed. He got a lot better after, like, dude,
No, every
35
single year.
goals?
And literally every single year that he's played, he's gotten better. He's
Yeah.
literally progressed every
Yeah.
single year.
but if he stayed where he was at in that contract year, that's just fair value. Based off of, Massachusetts tax and everything like that, that's fair value. $7 million for Nylander with Toronto tax is fair value. Because the amount of money he's taken home, I mean, he's
I
taken home less than Pasternak, I guarantee you that.
See, that makes me wonder because I know Tampa. Well, I know the state of Florida is tax free. I don't think
Yeah,
they have to pay tax
that's why Tampa's so stacked.
because they can afford these players without giving them the right value that they are at.
Yeah, and-
without having to overpay so that they get confidence.
And that's why the Bobrovsky deal is even worse, because he's taken home a grand majority of that money, and he's playing terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
that-
honestly, Florida,
That's Bobrovsky.
yeah, it was his bad year, so he'll be fine next year. But, like, Florida has no excuse to be bad. Like, Like, what's their tax rate? They have no excuse to be bad.
The Panthers?
Yeah. No excuse.
Speaking of them, I think it's 2 years from now. Alex Barkov's a UFA. Do you think he leaves?
Yeah.
I think he
See
fucking
you later.
leaves.
Unless-
I think he fucking leaves.
Unless he says, well, okay, the cap's gone up since then, and, well,
15 mil.
we live in Florida, and I want to take home as much that Bob is, so just give me what he has.
Or do you think he's gonna? You know how like players like they like to win now and then cash in later. And you know like what I'm saying? Like win now, you have your championship, you go out and play for money.
Yeah, but then
Almost
you have
kinda
guys like fucking Jason Spezza. Don't win it.
well, kind of like Torrey Krug, I think, because
he still hasn't won it.
I know, but he's
Got pretty close, though.
he's accomplished a lot in Boston.
Yeah, he was one Marchand shift change away from the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
But honestly, he's accomplished so much. He's become the best American defenseman the Bruins have ever had, by point wise.
It's not hard when all your best fucking defensemen are Canadian.
We have an all-American defense basically, except for Chara.
Well, where's Eddie Shore from?
He was from Canada.
Was? Okay. I thought he was. I just didn't remember.
Him, Borg, or
Yeah.
every other great player to ever play the game.
Yep. Until, like, the 90s, and then Americans, like, got
Until some
almost
Russians
equal.
were like, hey, we're here too. And then, you have like, Nick Lidstrom was like,
Yep.
I'm a thing.
Speaking of Torrey Krug, and like
Yeah,
Bruins,
speaking of Torrey Krug,
Speaking
this
of
is
Torrey
the guy
Krug.
who brought him up.
speaking of Torrey Krug, I know he's done. He's done. I think
Yeah,
he's
he's
done in
done.
Boston.
We've talked about this before. He's done.
He's definitely. Well, did you see what he posted on Instagram? The skyline of Boston. I think that was like his farewell message. Hang on. In his Instagram bio, in his OnlyFans bio, he put hockey player.
You know what he should have done?
No.
He should have posted on his story just a picture, like, in a lobby somewhere, but then he puts the location as Logan International Airport. You know, he's like,
What he
at
should
a
have done?
hotel.
He should have done the fucking Brady where he takes a picture. And
No, go full Brady the video. Remember the video that Brady did?
I'm staying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Staying
staying.
always.
Well, that
do
was
the
a
whole
lie.
thing where he just had. Yeah, but where he's
Oh,
walking
did you
out.
see that
He's
video?
walking
Yeah.
out the tunnel.
Why, what's the word bats?
Yep.
It was like what Tyler the Creator. What, you fucking
That was a
lie?
fucking lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but like it's just him walking down the fucking tunnel into an arena, but it's not like a marked arena. It's just an arena. He's like, oh, I'm staying, and it's like, staying where? In the hockey field? Like you're still playing hockey? Is that what you're saying?
He's playing the hockey field.
Yeah,
He's playing
yeah.
field hockey.
Hey,
No, but
As in the job field, like being a hockey player.
But honestly, I was looking at Krug's stats. I mean, he had it down a little bit of a down year from last year. I don't know. I can't remember how many points off, but he definitely did score a little lower points. But I'm looking. He's always in the minus.
yeah, because he puts up power play points.
That's a defenseman.
I feel that's what killed the Bruins in the playoffs.
No, it's
So-
not.
No.
Plus minus
it
is the most useless stat.
We talked about that.
Yeah, it's the most, dude. Because okay,
Did you see?
hang on. If you put up like 35 power play points,
Okay.
and you're a minus 20,
Yep.
are you bad? No, because you put up
Yeah.
35 power play points because you scored 35 power play goals or assisted on the other end of those goals.
Yeah, but we got McAvoy. We got Grizzly.
Yeah, so you have the guys that.
Replaceable.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like that doesn't mean he's bad. Like plus,
I'm not saying he's a bad player.
He's not as much a liability defensively.
I'm just
but
saying
I mean,
that-
I don't expect him to be a plus.
No.
Oh no.
At all.
I just feel like we need a more grittier defense. Like listen, I feel like we don't really have that. We need like kind of like that one asshole D-man.
Brendan Dillon.
hey kid,
We
kid,
need
can
like
can you check the date?
we need like a Borwick.
I know. I don't want that fucking scumbag.
Why does he look like an
Is
egg?
it 2004 or no?
It's actually 2001.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that makes sense. Because I thought, I thought we were living in 2020, where you need grit, but not a whole lineup full of it.
See,
Because
I'm a gritty guy though.
see, hang on though, because you have grit, and his name's Nick Ritchie.
No, don't
Don't
mention
bring that name up.
Don't
Oh,
mention
what does he bring to the table?
nothing.
Nothing.
He
Penalty.
brings
Nothing. He
Penalty.
brings
grit.
useless penalties.
He brings
One-
grit,
he brings
and
some
where
fucking-
did that get you?
He brings stupidity.
Nowhere.
Exactly. So why do you need more grit?
He brings
No.
fucking
I
stupidity.
all right. So I feel like Krug
Sorry, everybody
Homeboy
else is like a
fucking-
foot and a half taller than him and outweighs him by fucking 50 pounds. Like, what do you want him to do?
Well,
Start
listen.
fucking punching people in the middle of the crease?
Listen, homeboy, he fucking pinches so much.
He's
He
an
punches-
offensive defenseman.
That is his
pitches-
job.
He pinches more than Kid fucking pinches.
He does his job, and he does it very well. Just because you don't like what his job is, that doesn't mean he's bad.
There's a reason he's with Brandon Carlo.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I feel like
Because
he's,
all 6'5" of Brandon Carlo can cover for
hey,
him.
hey.
I
Quote,
feel like
quote Mike Babcock. He's 6'5" every time he steps out on the ice. All right, every time.
I feel like Krug is definitely replaceable. I don't know how much it's going to affect the power play or how much it's going to affect.
It
the
won't.
season.
Just give McAvoy that time.
Yeah, you
He's
give
very
Mac-
They are gonna give
capable.
McAvoy
You
that
give
time.
McAvoy those minutes, and then once he figures it out, because he's probably not going to be a rock star on it right away. But like 20 games in, once he figures it out, won't be a problem.
I
Once
have,
he gets that first power play goal, that's it.
Yeah, like once he sets up his first goal, he'll be fine. Like he knows what he can do, and he'll be comfortable. It's not going to be a big deal.
I have 3 candidates I'd like the Bruins to sign in the offseason to
All D
for
or some of them
defense.
forwards.
If Mark Borvietsky
I have-
is actually
I have-
one of them,
I have written down
I'm
3
kicking you out.
I have 3 defensemen, 3 forwards who I'd like to see them go after.
All right, let's see if we're on the same page.
Matt Martin's
And-
on this fucking list.
I
man.
almost put him on the list. No, not gonna
No,
lie.
it's better than Nick Ritchie. I'll give you that.
I have one that
At least
might
Matt Martin
trigger
has a
kids,
fucking
so.
brain.
And then
that line's not been bad though for Islanders. That
At
fourth
least he
line,
has a brain. He might not have any skill.
he's got all the hockey sense in the world.
At
Anyways,
least he has a brain.
anyways, all right, shut up. Okay,
I
so
told
Rest
just
of there,
shut.
buddy.
Yeah.
I don't like Nick Ritchie either.
so 3 candidates who I want the Bruins to go after: Eric Gustafson,
I don't mind that, but
I
I think
hate
he
it.
stays. I think he stays.
Mm,
Calgary liked him.
yeah,
Kevin Shattenkirk.
I don't hate that.
I'd like to see that. Remember a couple years ago before he signed with the Rangers?
If you have him in that 2D spot where he's supposed to be,
yep.
dude, he's been
Nah,
amazing.
If he's playing with McAvoy, that's
No, because
Or you
dude,
have him play with
every time he's gone the top pairing minutes, he hasn't
I'd
performed
rather
well.
put him with Carlo.
That's why he wasn't
put him
good in
with
New
Carlo?
York.
And then do you put like Grzelcyk with McAvoy?
Yes.
I say mine as well.
That's
Grzelcyk
fine.
and McAvoy play very well together. They played together in college.
right.
They played together on the second power play unit. Like
Yeah.
they play together in shifts all the time throughout the whole entire season in playoffs. Like they're fine.
And then I know this might not happen. Dustin Bufflin. I'd like to see that.
He's not coming back.
You don't think so? You think he's done?
I think he's done.
Joel Edmondson?
He's going to Montreal. Dude, Brendan Dillon.
Who wants to play for Montreal?
Joel Edmondson.
They upset the Penguins.
Well, that's true, but come on. You know they're not
It was
winning.
the Penguins. Granted, they didn't have the right goalie in half the time, but it was the Penguins.
But if I had to choose anyone on this list, I'm picking Shattenkirk.
No,
Yeah.
honestly,
I'm
I think,
picking Shattenkirk.
I think Brendan Dillon. I think we
I
have
mean-
plenty of puck moving.
What about like
Especially if Tampa wins the cup. I think he's just going to stay because it's in Florida. They just won the cup.
Yep.
He's taking home the majority of that money. I don't see a reason to stay.
What
But-
guy's making $1 million.
is he from? He's from.
But he's
He's
taking
not
home a
from
lot.
Mass. He's from New York, right?
Yes.
He's from New York.
And yet when he was in there, he played terribly. But that's just, you can't put him on top pairing minutes because
Yeah.
I'd like to see Brendan
he
Dillon.
left St. Louis.
Brendan
Or
Dillon,
Justin Braun.
Brendan Dillon's Justin Braun. Justin Braun.
Hey, he's all right.
Hey, man.
You just said Justin Braun.
Hey, man.
That guy barely even gets 10 minutes in Philly. What makes you think he's going to get a minute in Boston?
Hey,
Fuck
man.
it. Mark Borwicki. Screw it.
Brendan
just sign
Dillon-
out. Just sign
No,
Mark Borwicki.
I don't want that fucking scumbag. That guy's
Locker
just
room
as...
guy. Locker room guy. You
Locker
know?
room.
Locker room?
Locker room guy.
Yeah, locker room. He goes and takes off somebody else's head.
That's what I mean. Locker room guy.
Yeah.
Locker room guy.
No, I don't want that. Brendan Dillon plays just as fierce and legally. He plays legally.
He's illegal?
He does not
Interesting.
take people's heads off.
All right. So let's get it up front. What do you got?
I have 3 forwards who I'd like to see the Bruins pursue. I have Mike Hoffman.
All right.
I don't know how much that would cost.
I don't know a lot.
I've thought about this before, and I'm like, he would be a perfect second, third line guy. Craig Smith. Looked at his stats this morning. I would say he had a pretty solid career being a top 9 forward.
Noted Nashville Predators fan, Kid Sawyer speaking. He's a good player.
Kid affirms.
Good player.
Craig Smith.
He's a good player.
He's a good player.
Good player.
We gotta get him the puck more and
Pucks in deep.
pucks in
Pucks on deep. Pucks on net.
Kid. Can you cover yours real
Just
quick?
fucking say it.
No.
Just
I think you
fucking
know who
say
I'm
it.
going to
Just
say.
fucking say
You know
it.
who I'm going to
Just fucking
say.
say it.
Pat Maroon.
I mean, why not? His one move works very well.
Hey, man. Let's see it, though. Last year, who'd you play for?
St. Louis
What'd they do?
won the cup.
Who's he playing for now?
Tampa
What are they probably going to do?
lose the cup.
They're at least
Win the cup.
they're going to get to the finals at least, right?
At least the finals.
But if they win the cup, he's 2 for 2. Goes to Boston. What's he going to do?
Gotta win the cup. Hear me out. So I've been looking at it.
Literally based on nothing.
Every team he's ever played for, other than the Anaheim Ducks, he fought Chara. Edmonton, St. Louis, and Tampa. Every single time he switched
Because
teams,
he's the
fought
only guy
Chara.
who would do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Every single
You
time.
out of your mind?
Every single time he's switched teams, he's fought Chara, other than when he was on Anaheim.
Only guy tall enough for it. Like, Jesus.
Hey,
Christ.
Jamie Alexiak will fight him.
Didn't Jamie Eli?
Now,
he did fight.
Now,
him.
hang on, though. Since our audio got messed up last week, kid, nobody heard the off-season outlook that I put together. So, now that
So
we
should
got
I
Evan
shut up?
here.
Oh,
Well-
is this for the Bruins?
Yep.
No,
Oh.
it's for the Canadians. Our new
So-
favorite team.
Kid?
Let me...
This is a Canadians only podcast.
Oh, to log in real quick
Anyways,
here.
who would you guys want to sign out of those three?
Brendan,
I like Shattenkirk.
No, for the forwards.
I
I
don't hate Maroon.
I don't really see Hoffman fitting because we got Kasha, who I thought played amazing during the Carolina series.
Yeah, he played
but when
fine.
Ghost during the Tampa series.
Now, before I get into mine, because I
Okay.
have two,
Okay.
I need to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Rask. What's he doing?
He's playing. He only went back.
for another team.
Shut up. Why would you trade your Hall of Fame goaltender? Why would you do that? What are you, an idiot?
If you don't,
What are you, nuts?
if you're not
What are you,
on
fucking
good
nuts?
terms with management, you get traded. Look at PK Subban. Was it the
Well,
right move? No.
I'm pretty
you don't
sure-
trade your star defenseman.
No.
But it happens if you're on bad terms
Well,
with
look
management.
what, I mean, it worked out for the Canadians.
Yeah, but if you can't predict injuries, if PK didn't get hurt like he did, it would not have worked out for them like it has. It literally the only reason it looks good is because he got hurt.
But
Okay,
I don't
in
see...
the long run, yeah, cool. Montreal has a defenseman that's working out for them, but where have they gone? I could tell you where Nashville went. The Stanley Cup fucking finals.
Yeah, and even still, like, I mean, PK's got some life left. I mean, he's been doing a lot of work in this offseason. He's been working out with The Rock. Ever heard of him? So, I mean, if he can get his back in order,
Smell
like,
that? If you smell...
literally, if he can get his back in order,
Sorry.
we'll see. Like, I love PK.
I like PK.
Oh, I love.
I
that
think
man.
but
He's
I'm
fucking-
afraid
I love
of-
his crossovers, the most aggressive crossover motion.
But
I love
see,
it.
I'm
fucking
afraid of like
hilarious,
his
too.
locker room, like his outside attitude.
Why? He's
Oh
a
my
great
god!
guy.
Yeah, he's a,
No, I
he's
know,
a
but I've
fantastic
heard.
guy.
I'm talking about like a lot of people don't like him, like in the locker room.
Well, okay. The reason that they don't like him
He's
is
very emotional. He goes
because
out-
he's not a typical hockey player. Because he doesn't keep his mouth shut and say, "Oh, pucks in deep."
Yeah.
Whenever, like
No,
he
like,
actually says something.
Look at the.
That's why people don't
look
like
at the
him.
Winter Classic when they were doing the whole road to the Winter Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had him mic'd up in the locker room. He's like, "Let's fucking go, boys! We're gonna go out there. We're gonna fucking win!" And he's very amped up,
Very
hyped
amped
up,
up.
and he just says what he wants to
And
say.
I don't see like a lot of like high, especially like probably like the European players. They're not like that. I mean, I
No.
don't know why. Maybe because their culture.
Well,
All I
like,
can picture is just Elias Pettersson just sitting there all quiet.
Yeah,
in the
he's, like,
fucking
scared.
locker room.
yeah. I mean, like that part of the world, that part of Europe, they're very reserved people. So like that's kind of like just something to have to get used to. Like it should be like if Pedersen was around PK all day.
Oh my God.
that's an adjustment.
Like,
It is.
imagine Pettersson was the captain. So, like, if you give Subban the captain, he's gonna go in and give a hell of a speech.
Like-
he's gonna give a hell of a speech. Then
Yep.
you have Pettersson. Okay, guys, let's
Think
go
about-
out there and win this game.
Think about Vancouver when the Sedins were there, and actually Vancouver now. Their identity as a team was boring as hell to talk to, but
Yeah.
really good. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's just that part of
Yeah.
that part of Europe. They're reserved, they're quiet. I mean, that's just how they are.
You could say the part of Europe. It's Sweden.
Well, it's
Yeah,
not just Sweden. It's
Well,
I can't.
Norway's
for some
up
reason,
there too.
you got
Fuck
Finland,
Finland,
Sweden.
yeah.
I mean,
It's just-
Russia. Well,
they're-
Russia's
All my
not-
homies hate Finland.
those three countries,
I like
they're just
Finland.
very reserved people.
Sweden, baby.
Yeah, I know, but like Finland's a. I'm kind of surprised of like what's Finland. Finland's
No.
producing a lot of good players.
They have good players,
Yeah.
but Sweden and Finland are rivals. So
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, and you're like
No,
9% Swedish.
But
so.
the thing is, but Rask only left. I mean, we don't really know the full story. All right, let's be honest. We know. Well, we know now that it had to do something with his daughter in a medical reason.
Yeah, any other year, I would be fine with Boston fans and media giving him shit. But this year,
No, you can't
I'm-
give him shit for that. If
I'm-
it's a
I'll let
family
it slide.
thing, you know what? 'Cause
even if it's a lie, like it's 2020, I'll let it slide, bro. Whatever. Let's just get to the next year, man. Let's
too
just,
much of a. It's been quite
let's
the
just-
year.
Let's just
man.
move it along. I want to.
I'd lie too.
Like I'm going to bed, bro. I don't need to read the story about how he's like, has a bad character. Like I'm going to bed.
No, I mean, I think Rask. I remember a couple years before that he considered retiring after his contract's up, which would be
Yeah,
after
he's got
next year.
kids.
Look,
I mean,
at the
he's
end
got
of the
ki-
day, you can't take away his legacy.
No.
No,
He's
a
the
Hall of Fame-
He's the greatest Boston Bruins goalie to ever touch the
Yep.
ice. He may not have won a cup, but
Well, he did.
statistically,
As a starter.
as a starter, he never
statistically,
won.
statistically, he's
Got a
the
ring, though.
best. He's the best goalie that
Hey,
we've
More,
ever seen.
he's got more rings than we do.
But that's like the thing I was talking about. Maybe like a guy like, remember how I said like, you win young and you cash in later.
Right.
Like, say a player like Tuukka Rask, he won the cup in 2011. He was a backup to Tim Thomas.
He was like the backup to the backup at that point. He was just came into the league.
No, he came in 2010.
Khudobin was in that lineup. Look at the
Was he?
2011 roster. It's Thomas,
I don't know.
Khudobin.
Khudobin won a...
Well, they won it in Game 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let
but
me just.
Rask
I'll look
was
up.
the backup. He was the backup the whole playoffs.
Khudobin was in the 2011 team. I'm pretty sure Rask was the backup to the backup. Rask was
No.
drafted into... When was he drafted? Wasn't he drafted?
He was drafted in like 06, I think.
Let me find the box score here. June 15th, 2011. Do.
I'm quite sure. I know for a fact Khudobin was on that team. It might have been the...
Oh, really? Hockey reference? You're only going to show the starter?
Nah, dude. You don't deserve it. Just look at the fucking roster.
That's what I'm looking at.
2011.
Well, I want to look at specifically that game.
He was the
Because
backup.
that
He
was the
he
game
the
winning.
backup.
That was the cup
But-
winning game.
Yeah, but if he's the third string, but he played in 2010. Didn't Thomas back up Rask in 2010?
Yeah.
For the playoffs?
Josh Hennessy guy.
Yeah.
So-
No, you got this right.
Yeah. Rask was the backup
Thomas stole the job
from Rask.
from Rask because he was just
He-
objectively
Hey,
better
it's lights
somehow.
out.
Yeah. Somehow.
Oh, boy.
And he's tiny, but the guy stopped
Oh,
pucks.
boy.
What?
I forgot Jordan Caron was on the team.
Mans.
Oh, my goodness. Jordan fucking Caron.
Okay. Well,
Mike Hutchinson was on the team, boys!
I didn't know that.
Michael Hutchinson! The Bruins
Dude.
drafted him.
Dude, the
Oh,
fucking,
yeah, they did.
The
And
fucking
Anton
avalanche.
Khudobin.
What a waste of a pick that was. Michael Hutchinson, but he...
And Anton Khudobin.
No, so
That guy's
all right.
terrible.
So anyway, so say you're a 19-year-old kid, say or 20 years old.
I am
whatever.
19.
You are 19.
There it is.
All right, so
Fuck you.
let's. Yeah, kids still talk. Kids still
He's like
learning
30.
how to write.
Yeah,
he's still learning how
he's
to
figuring
read.
it out.
I just
All
had
right, Leo,
I
so-
just
all
had my
right.
10th birthday.
Say-
Hang on, he just figured out how to tie his shoes recently.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
You left the Velcros?
Yeah, I could do the bunny ears.
The buddy.
All right, Leo, you're an NHL player. Say example like 2011, like Tyler Sagan.
Yep.
You win a cup.
Yep.
Fuck bitches, get money.
That too. You go. You stick with that same organization for 6 years, 7 years. You're 26 now. You're about to enter your prime. Do you go and cash in?
And
You leave your team.
I've only
and you
won.
Go to a cash in.
I've only won that single cup.
You've only won that single cup. You cash in.
I don't know what
Is
you're
it-
talking
this
about.
is your only-
Leo's mentality is literally always go cash in. Because you never know what's going to happen. That's always been his mentality with the players.
Yeah.
But even if it's like a shitty team, what
And
if
then as
Detroit-
a GM, he's like, eh.
what if Ottawa said, "We'll give you 8 years, 11 million."
Yeah. Like,
You
dude.
go do it.
Yeah.
You don't turn down a contract
My-
that's more than what you want. Look at McDavid. I guarantee you McDavid was like, okay, $10 million. It
He
seems
took a pay
reasonable.
cut.
Yeah.
No,
I'm pretty
McDavid
sure he
took
did
a
take
pay cut.
cut.
Yeah, he
For
took a pay
12 and
cut.
a half?
Yeah, he took a pay cut.
He's a $50
And
million
that, dude, that
player.
12,
I'm sorry.
dude,
He
that
is.
12, it's worth it.
No, I'm saying like,
And it's over 8 too, so
Yeah.
it's going to be more worth it in the future.
if you look at it, McDavid was probably like, okay, I'm going to ask this, but reasonably, I mean, everybody around my talent is making like 10 and a half. I could settle with that. And then if Peter Chiarelli, and you
Fly
know
high
when,
Peter
you know when
Chiarelli.
you get a phone call from him, something is going your way.
You better say yes. You better say
You
yes.
just better say yes if
Say
he's
yes.
calling.
Or else you're being
So
traded.
he looks down at the phone. He's like, "Oh, Chiarelli's calling me. Okay, this is gonna be good." Picks it up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, hangs up. Chiarelli's like, calls back. Do you know? Yes.
We'll take it.
Well, I'll take it. So, 8 years, 12 and a half. Yes.
We'll take it.
Yes.
Take it. Take it. Yeah, dude, I'm always, from a player's mindset, I'm always on the cash in mentality because
Even if you won a cup. What if you didn't
Yeah.
win a cup?
if you didn't win a cup, still cash in. Because think about it this way. Yeah, you don't win a cup, but
You get $88 million.
You're set financially.
you play until you're what, 35 if you're lucky?
Yeah.
Especially the way the league's going now, you're going to retire probably like 32, 33. Average human lives till 78. What are you going to do for the rest of that time? If you're not set up for life from, you've been doing this since you're 3-4 years old and you're at the biggest league you can possibly get at,
And then
Get
don't take
re-
a hockey job afterwards.
get rewarded for your work, and then you can just, you could take 10 years off if you wanted to and then come back and you'll still have a job waiting for you. That's how it works with alumni.
Look at fucking
Yeah, that's
Patrick.
true.
But you
Roy.
don't even especially working for a junior team, you're probably not going to be making a ton of money.
Yeah.
You still
But,
work.
like,
I mean, kind of like Mark
if you just
Recchi.
want to stay involved in the game, you just let's say
Mark
I'm
Recchi.
from
you always do it.
I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. All right, I'll just scout for the Bulldogs and hang out at my lake house when I'm not doing that.
while you're comfortable for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I spend
Yeah,
time
but-
with my kids.
Look at fucking Don Sweeney. Guy literally played for the Bruins, and then, not like he was getting paid that much back then,
And
but
yeah,
he played for the Bruins, went and scouted. I guarantee you he hung out with his family for a while, and now he's a GM.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang out with your kids. Coach your kids' team or something. You're set for life. Yeah, you didn't win a cup, fine, but you still.
I'd
Or
rather
an
have the
NHL player.
financial stability than to win a cup.
Yeah,
as
there's-
sweet
there's-
as it would be to win a Stanley Cup. I think that's every kid's that plays hockey.
Yeah.
That's their life goal.
I
They
agree.
want to win the cup.
Yeah, and
It's one of the sexiest trophies in the world.
taking a
Definitely
pay
is.
cut doesn't guarantee you a cup.
So it's like,
I mean, look at Spezza. He probably could have made 1.5 somewhere, but he took minimum, went to Toronto. It didn't get him anything.
Yep.
and Babcock kind of treated him poorly.
Yeah, he should have been in the opening night roster.
Yeah,
and he
that
wasn't.
was kind of low, especially a guy who will be in the Hall of Fame like Jason Spezza.
Yeah, I mean,
You,
but
you put him in opening night no matter what.
Babcock's the same. I can't remember what player it was, but there's a player who retired at 1,499 games, and Babcock scratched him in the last game of the season.
Oh, I feel like I know
Johan
who this is.
Franzen.
I don't know.
No, it wasn't
No,
Franzen.
no.
No, but he was the reason
It's
that
not
Franzen
Medano,
retired.
was it?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Was it Medano? I
Why-
don't remember.
Eiserman?
Medano didn't play for the Wings, did he? No.
Hang on, let's look this up.
Eiserman, Robitaille, Brett Hull.
I bet it'll come up when I just type in Mike Babcock 1,499.
Mike Backhawk, dickhead.
No, but he's the reason that Johan Franzen retired.
It was Medano. Look at me, dude.
It was Medano?
Yeah.
Really? Wait, Medano played for
probably
the
at the end of
Wings?
his career.
Yeah,
at the
probably end of his career.
Yeah.
Kind of like everyone
That's what
didn't know
everybody.
what
No, they literally went and signed all the best players that were really good 10 years prior.
Yuri
They
Hudler.
signed
Yeah.
all of them.
Yuri Hudler.
They signed literally all of it. Brett Hull, Steve Eiserman, and Luke Robitaille was a line.
Yeah, that's fucking nasty.
Granted, they were 35, but that was a
But
line.
Still same guys.
And it's one of the highest scoring lines of all time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised that Babcock did that. Same guy did the Medano stuff. I mean, hey.
So it's
But
that's
let's,
weird because
uh,
Medano had a lot of
Let's
respect.
bring it all back.
Let's
We-
circle
we've
back
kinda-
to the BC. We're talking about Rask. So I have 2 teams that I've created.
Oh god, I'm scared.
Kids heard them already. One's with Rask and one's without.
Okay.
So I'll start the with Rask one.
The with
'cause
Rask,
That
okay.
one's a little bit simpler.
Okay.
So for the signings, a bunch of the guys that were already on the team and they're depth dudes,
Yeah.
I just brought them back for whatever they're already making because I'm not going to put a ton of effort into that. I have DeBrusque making $4 million for 3 years
Okay.
because he thinks he can get better still, and I think
Which
he can
I
too.
think he can.
So give him a bridge,
Okay.
fine. Same thing with Grizzlick,
Yep.
but he's making 3.5 for 3.
Okay.
Fine. And you can honestly convince him to take less. He's a Boston kid.
I mean, yeah.
Pride of Charlestown, Mass. So then we have our big signing. Now, I want to see if you can guess who it is.
It's fucking Alex Petrangelo,
Nope.
Taylor Hall.
There it is. Now,
It kind of just circles around.
let me explain it though.
Okay.
Because he has, I don't think he said it himself, but it's been reported that he will take a pay cut to go to a winning team. Boston made the finals last year.
Unfortunate this year. It's just unfortunate, the whole thing.
Yeah, like they do have a couple more years. If he wants to win, Boston is an option.
Yep.
So I have him making 6.5, which is only a $500,000 raise.
Okay.
But with this team,
Kind of like what you would pay Krug, to be honest. So you're not really missing out, I would say.
yeah, I mean, with this team, you have a little bit of cap space, not a ton, but you
A
have
little
some.
wiggle room.
Yeah, so you can give him a little bit more. Yeah, you can give him 7 or whatever, but he hasn't really, like, since that 1 year, he
The
hasn't.
Devils, he hasn't really been doing. But I would like that because it kind of like circles around. I always say the Tyler Seguin curse. I think it's a curse that we traded him. But what if it all comes
It was
back?
a terrible move.
It was a terrible move. But what if it all comes back around? We just had to wait, 8 years to win the cup with Taylor Hall, who could have been a Boston Bruin. I think it'd kind of be like its own Cinderella story in some way. Like Taylor Hall, he's trying to win, but he can't find the team to do it. But what about the team that could have drafted him? What if
It's
the
all
Oilers?
player- it's all
what if
players'
the
perspective.
Oilers drafted Sagan and we drafted Hall?
I mean,
What if it all comes around somehow?
it's literally all player perspective. Like some players would rather win than make money.
Oh yeah,
So it's
for
like
sure.
Taylor Hall,
he wants to win.
he wants to win.
Yeah,
Because
So I
he's
wouldn't
trying to
doubt-
prove he's not a bust, is what he's trying to do.
And I mean, okay,
Which he's not.
should he have
'cause
been
he's an
number
NHL
one?
player.
Should he have been number one? Maybe
No.
not.
At the time, yes.
At the time, yes, but
Now,
looking back
no.
at it now, no. But he's still a terrific player.
I mean, who
But
would
see, here's the thing, though. Like, he could have, like, Taylor Hall,
Yeah.
if he wasn't forced into what he was forced into in Edmonton, there's no telling what he could have been. No telling.
and honestly, I don't think the Bruins make that Stanley Cup without Sagan.
No.
He played a huge part
Mm-hmm.
in beating Tampa.
Yeah, he did. He did really good in games 2 and 3,
So it's like
or 1 and
Either
2.
way-
Sorry, my bad.
I'm happy with the outcome because the Bruins get a Stanley Cup. They didn't pick a guy that stuck with them, but they picked a guy that ended up helping them win a cup.
Whatever you do, however many bad decisions you make, if it leads to a ring on your finger, all is forgiven. Because it's so hard to win a cup. So hard.
Especially this year. But I don't hate Taylor. I don't hate signing Taylor Hall. But teams are gonna Montreal's going. Montreal
Montreal's
goes
in on
after
everybody.
Montreal goes after everybody.
As long as it says UFA right next to him, and I mean, even in
Montreal's like, oh.
Aho's case, RFA. But as long as it says UFA, yeah, Montreal's interested.
Hey, hear me out. Speaking of, sorry to get off topic again, but I'm just
You're
going to
good.
say one thing. Montreal offers Sheets Barzal. Just because.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
It's not like you lose anything.
Okay, all right,
I don't know.
coming back.
Fucking. Hey,
They're going to match it.
Yeah.
Well, hang on.
If they have the money to, they will.
If ownership is talking to Lou and Lou says, I'm going to let him walk, hey, Lou, you're fired. Because
If they have
Why?
the money to do it. If,
He's the
if
one guy
Montreal
that they
goes, okay, Islanders are strapped on cap. How about we just offer him $12.5 million? Go ahead and match it. Go ahead. Islanders, go ahead, match it. Please, move the rest of your team to make cap for that. Go ahead.
But what happens if they say no? You give up 4 draft. You give up
Then-
4 first round picks.
Exactly. Montreal doesn't care.
Yeah,
they want
but-
somebody to lead that offense.
Okay, but you
And
gotta
who better?
You gotta understand
than
they-
Matt Barzal.
They have
and they need a
14
1C.
They need a 1C.
No. They have 14 million strapped just in goaltending.
Yeah, but they also were not afraid to
Yeah.
do it for Sebastian Aho. What makes you think they're?
Yeah, but
That-
it's
what,
for-
back
what
down
did you
on
think
Matt
of that
Barzal.
trade? I thought it was a good trade.
What?
The
The Jake Allen?
Yeah.
Petrangelo is staying with the Blues. That's how I look at it. That was clearly a cap dump.
I heard that he got lowballed.
Think so?
Petrangelo. Yeah.
He did.
The first report that's come out is that he got, I mean, it's been like 2 weeks since
Mm-hmm.
then, but like,
No, he did.
I mean,
definitely did
I
get
kind of
lowballed.
like it too. Well, not for only the Blues, but obviously for Montreal too, because it kind of
I think
gives
they offered
Carey
him
Price
like
that doesn't put so much pressure on Price.
yeah, he's not, like, he physically can't play,
he's not
every game.
23-year-old
More than-
Carey Price
No.
anymore.
yeah, he can't play 55 plus. And Jake Allen played in the playoffs and he looked good. and he can play 35 games and look fine. Mm-hmm. And then for the rest of those games, you have Carey Price, not just the injured Carey Price.
No, not Carey Price. Carey Price with
Yeah.
2 R's.
Yeah.
As in carry the fucking workload.
Yeah. Yep.
Bruh. That's kind of a bruh moment right there.
Now,
Do you have any other signings with Rask?
no, but I just have a small trade, Connor Clifton, for a 4th. I mean,
Okay.
Small trade.
I don't know if Connor Clifton will be back.
It was a cap dump. That's all it was.
I mean,
He's at $1 million per for this year and two other years.
okay, well,
I
he
don't
could
hate
also
that.
be.
He's a good.
I mean,
right-handed
if you want to
defenseman.
dump cap, I dump John Moore maybe.
Yeah, and I'm fine with doing that. If you have to give up a second round pick, to
Oh, and I believe for that one, I also did bring back Chara.
Oh yeah, I mean Chara's coming back no
For
matter
minimum.
what. He's coming back no matter what.
Even if he doesn't play, he'll still come back. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he'll play third line. I heard that he'll get less minutes.
he
now.
has to. There's no way you can play.
Now
on top.
I saw your facial expression. Why are you holding your hands up like you're Trump with the 2 fingers in the air?
Because I can.
Okay.
Let's
Dude,
get
you don't see the shirt? It says USA.
It says you.
USA hockey, baby. Let's get into the without one.
Oh,
Now,
we have fucking Petrangelo.
no, nothing. Actually, it's like a big move, but
Does
it's
it make
not
sense?
crazy.
You'll like it.
Yeah, kid liked it, and
I liked it.
Ooh, when Kid likes it,
I didn't
might
like one of the
it.
pieces, but it was reasonable enough.
Was it Matt Martin?
No.
It was.
you
Matt
read
Martin.
my no. Okay, okay. So here's the reason that it's surprising he liked it. You ready? To Nashville.
To Nashville.
To Nashville. We have Tigger Rask, obviously. It's without Rask one. John Moore, cap. Mm-hmm. Anders Bork, cap and value.
Yep.
And a 3rd round pick, and I'm also willing to up that up to a 2nd
Yep.
if Nashville wants to. To Boston, Pekka Rinne
Okay.
and Matthias Ekholm.
How can you be mad when Matthias Ekholm
Everything else is the same. So Hall comes in.
Hall comes in.
Yeah, I'm still bringing him in. Grizzlick and DeBrusk the same.
When Matthias Ekholm is mentioned, you can't be mad.
Matthias, solid. He would solidify that defenseman.
Good Swedish
but
kid.
I don't know if Rene has it left in the
You don't
cap.
And he
Fucking-
doesn't, and that's the point. So, because it has to be semi-realistic, so Nashville has to get something they want.
Yeah.
And
But we got a
something-
defenseman. that's
Something in
reliable.
Nashville needs to change, and their defense is their strength, but they could not get a damn save, and they also couldn't really get a goal either. But I think that was more
Now-
of Kemper just being a brick wall. They need a save, and Rask can give them more saves than Saros or Rene ever will for the year that he's there.
No, with that, if they don't have Rask, I'm thinking of maybe getting a guy like Jari.
No, see, here's the thing though, because you have Halak still, who is not Tuukka Rask, but
He can give you a save when you need it.
like he's
unless
time and
it's glove side.
Unless it's his glove side.
yeah, but time and again he's come in and for a little while taken the job from Rask because Rask wasn't up to it.
Okay.
He just wasn't playing well.
Yep.
So you have Rene and Halak competing for starts, and you also have Swayman and Vladar competing for the next spot.
Yeah, don't forget Kyle Kaiser, too. I mean, I don't know.
He's in the East Coast League.
It's
And
rough
he
for him.
he was a scratch in the East Coast League. Not saying he's done because
You don't...
keep in mind Bennington almost got sent down to East Coast League.
Yeah.
Bennington had some fucking nuts on him.
Yeah, he had some balls and stood
And a
like
fucking-
right up at Brodeur and said, "I'm not going down to the East Coast
He had a
League. You out of your
fucking big
mind."
swinging dick, and he
Yeah,
said,
he-
nope, I ain't going.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Now, the reason I actually like this for Boston's goaltending situation is because when you're looking at the long-term future,
Yep.
it's one of Swayman or Vladar.
It's going to be Swayman or Vladar. No,
It's
no
one of
doubt.
those two guys
Or
now.
maybe both. You never
Giving
know.
them an easier
I think the
option?
best
an easier
part-
dude, because trying to get one of those two spots from Rask and Halak, it's a hard ask.
Yeah, it is.
Rene and Halak, all right, yeah.
You got some competition.
I
If
think
he's
the
up to
best-
it,
the
and
best
one of those
way
two
is
guys can
definitely
be an
that way.
NHL player.
Or
You let Swayman start in the minors and just automatically give.
No,
Vladar
you
that-
don't
that
give.
time.
No, you don't give either. Like you just
how...
let them compete,
No, let
and
them
whoever's
compete,
the
yes,
better
but,
guy,
I mean,
you give it to
when
him.
it gets to the point that Vladar is ready to come up and be the backup, I mean, I think Vladar's gonna be the backup.
Uh-huh.
I'd rather that because there's no point in Swayman coming up and being a fucking backup.
No,
he's way
he-
too talented. He needs to start.
He need...
He needs those starts.
Okay, but
yeah,
he
but
needs to
he
develop.
needs
He
those
can't-
starts, but he also needs NHL pucks on him.
He does.
Well,
but
he needs AHL pucks on him first. Let's
he
let him play in
needs-
the AHL.
He needs to
That's true.
be a starting goalie.
What goalie have you heard coming right from college, starting for an NHL team?
Ken Dryden.
What about Hellebuck?
He played for. Well, I know he played for UMass Lowell, but he also.
Did he go to Manitoba for a little bit?
Yeah,
He most likely
so.
did.
Let's have a look.
He played for only 1 year in UML, I'm pretty sure.
No, he played. I think he played.
Is
up,
it one and or
It
two?
was like one or
No,
two.
he played a couple years at UMass.
It was like
Lowell.
one or two.
At the Riverhawk shop. There's a picture of Connor Hellebuck.
Really? You don't say. Could it be because he's an alumni?
Oh,
Let's have a look here, kids. 2 years.
2 years
I,
at
said,
UMass
I,
Lowell.
just said one or
Oh.
two.
All right, yeah, he played 1 year in St. John, 58 games, and he played 30 in
the St.
Manitoba,
John-
and then went up to Winnipeg in that same year.
See, the thing is,
So one and a
I
half.
don't like rushing goalies. Not Russian goalies. I don't like rushing goalies.
Okay, I thought you said Russian. Like,
I don't
why?
like Russian goalies, man.
You
Fucking
don't like
Vasilevsky.
Vasilevsky? What's wrong with
My
you?
man Askarov.
Dude,
No.
that kid's amazing.
No.
Dude, that kid's got some edges. Holy.
Don't rush a goalie because all the goalies you see, exception maybe like Carter Hart, Carey
You shouldn't
Price.
rush anybody. Even Carter Hart had his time.
Yeah, I don't.
develop.
And he came up to the end and wasn't ready.
Hey, listen, in a perfect situation, you want your goalie, your starting goalie, to be ready around like 23, 24.
That's
Yeah.
typically
Because
ready,
it takes-
but
well,
it's
it
whenever
takes
they're
longer.
It's
On
whenever they're
average,
ready.
yeah. And then
You
you have
want
like
your-
Carter Hart, but
You
he's
have
like,
your,
that's like
you
rare
have
exception.
your
You
odds
have
and
your
ends.
Carey Prices, you have your Carter Harts. It's whenever the goalie is ready to come up. Jordan Bennington was 24. Carey Price
look
was
at-
like 18.
Look at Jari. It felt like it took him forever, but it really
But he
didn't.
made it, and I think he's pretty solid.
Yeah,
So
looked
it's like,
good.
If Swayman, I think Swayman needs maybe a season and a half, 2 seasons in
Yeah.
the minors. And at that point, I think he'll mature enough and be more up to speed on the professional level. Now, yes, he's facing a bunch of high danger shots in college, which he shouldn't be because college hockey is like known for chipping it in and getting like shit shots. He's facing high danger
Dude, the
shots.
only reason that UMaine team like didn't
Didn't
look
was
terrible
because
is
Because of
yeah.
Swayman.
So it's
It's
like
the only
He had-
reason.
I think he had like the best save percentage in like that school's history.
he's
I
gotta
don't doubt
come-
it. His goals against was insane.
It was
too.
crazy, but I'm excited to see what he brings. But
He's
bring
coming into Providence. You'll be able to
oh
actually.
yeah,
see
he
him
will.
play.
Yeah, because he signed his deal.
Yeah.
But bring him back to that without Rask. Now, all right. So say we don't want Rene. Say it's like a 3-way deal where maybe they said
I love those deals.
I
I love getting weird with it.
Yeah, it's so
I love it.
fucking complicated.
I know.
How do you work one of those
Hey-
out as
hey,
a
man.
GM?
Leaf great, Robin Lehner. For like 5 minutes. Leaf great. Leaf great. Put the hat on.
Dropped the trophy and said, I'm a head coach of the Clippers. But anyways, so say they send Rene out. So say Rene goes to another team, but say we get like a second. Let's just say,
Or you could just make that one trade and then go. You know what? Rene's not working out.
we can move him.
I will say, I thought about taking a pick instead, but for Nationals cap, it was
Okay. All right. Well, let's say we didn't get a Rene, and then we get the pick from whoever that is. We'll call it that. So
Colorado, because they love doing those
okay,
trades.
sure.
Hey. Ottawa needs a goalie.
they got Craig Anderson. I like
They
Craig
need a lot.
They need everything.
They need a new franchise. But what if they go? What if the Bruins go after a guy who, like Marc-Andre Fleury, he's older. Give him like 2 years, 2 years for $4 million. Let's just hypothetically say, and then after those 2 years, well, even after the one. Wait, how long did we say in Halak for? 1 or 2 years?
One.
1 year.
It's-
Yeah, one
so
more.
so you go 1 year of Fleury and Halak. You don't resign Halak, then that backup battle is between Swayman and Vladar. The fuck? Okay. And
Ew.
after that,
Gross.
you're probably going to move away from Fleury. You have your Swayman Vladar tandem.
I mean,
I mean,
already told him, like,
It's looking for the future,
I
and
would
you're
rather-
in control of it.
I would
Wait,
rather
how-
not commit to anybody. The only
What's
person
Rene-
I'd
hang
want
on.
to commit
Hang
to
on,
is
what's
Lehner.
Rene's term? What's his term?
Who?
left?
He's a free agent at, like, the end of the...
I didn't even hear you said who.
What's Rene's term left?
What do you mean?
Like, how much does he have left on his
Oh.
contract?
He's a free agent, like, the end of...
Yeah, he's got
Years,
a
something.
couple. I think he's got like 1 or 2 years. Hang on.
Well, then if he has 1 or 2 years, then screw the
Actually, I think
Fleury
he's
thing.
the same as He's the same as Rask. He's got
Oh,
1 year.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't
I
don't really care.
Are you saying this trade because we want to get rid of Rask, but at the same time, it's kind of like the Brady situation where
Well-
Rask is like a keystone to the Boston team, but can you let him go?
This is assuming that Rask isn't on board with the team. Because it's kind of up in the air, like,
or
you know.
management isn't happy with
Yeah, or management is, like, it's assuming a couple of options, but it's just, he's not going to stay.
Okay. I mean,
Because
I don't hate it.
Personally, I don't really feel the need to move on from him. And now, granted, if you're playing NHL 20 franchise mode, yeah, you're going to move on from him, but how realistic is that really?
Right. I mean,
I've said countless times, you can't take away his legacy, and I respect
No.
Rask. I think I've said it. He's the best goalie
yeah.
to ever play for the Boston Bruins. If he moves on, and if the team trades him, then whatever. Like, he'll always be a Boston Bruin.
Yeah, it's also like, you don't want him to leave because even though, yeah, he was brought in from Toronto, it's like kind of like that Brodeur thing when he just went to St. Louis and
for
it
like
felt
2
weird.
seconds.
Yeah, it was just
So-
like, kind of like, why?
Yeah.
If he
Just
does
keep him.
leave, it's like, I try to take the positives from every situation that I
Yep.
can.
Mm-hmm.
I think Swayman has a better chance.
Yeah.
Do I want Rask to leave? In all honesty, no.
I don't think none of us do.
He's an amazing goalie. It's frustrating watching him sometimes
Yeah.
because he makes some poor decisions and lets in some bad goals, but for the most part, he's
I mean,
solid.
he's a goalie.
He's a,
For the most
I'm
part,
sure every
he's solid.
goalie, you know.
And if he were to leave and Rene did come in, the only goalie option I'd want to commit to is Robin Lehner. Other than that,
Yeah.
I'd rather just get an older goalie like Rene or Fleury and just ride them out
Let
for
it
a
out.
year or two, so
And
that way
then-
Swayman and Flatter can come up and play.
Yeah, it's also like moving on from Rask is a mindset that management would have possibly where they are just looking more towards the future. Like it's kind of meaning that they don't have a trust in this core. Like, because if you have a trust in this core, like just run it back until they can't run it back anymore.
But
Because
how
that's
long?
just what you
how
have
long
to do.
do they have left?
Until you have Bergeron with one arm and like no legs and
Bergeron's
he's
a
crawling
freaking
off the
horse.
ice.
I mean,
I
they've
don't
been-
see Bergeron declining in the next 3 years. I really don't. I'm sorry. I
They've
really
been
don't.
they've been running it back for like what 10 years now. That was that 1 year they didn't make it, or two,
two.
whatever it
Oh
was.
yeah, they missed like 2
He
years.
missed
Yeah.
2 years, and then good old Butch Cassidy stepped up.
Yep, he's like
Love
Claude.
that guy.
He's like Claude.
Speaking of Jack Adams.
Oh yeah, that's right. We didn't get to that. Yeah,
Guys,
I'm glad I brought him up. I am so happy he
Dude.
finally won it.
that's like the first Jack Adams in a long time where it wasn't awarded to the coach. Where it's like, oh, we thought you guys were going to be bad, but you weren't. So it's probably the coach. Here you go.
I mean,
Like-
I think he's a great coach. I really do. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm going to sound biased when I say this.
really.
bias? Never.
He's the best coach in the NHL right now. Look at his winning percentage.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
it's
not even kidding.
over
Look at his winning
600.
percentage. It's over 600. It's almost 7.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's actually really good.
He's the best coach in the NHL right now.
Yeah, I mean, I hate that people were like, oh, it should have been John Tortorella. It could have been John Tortorella or Alain Vigneault.
Someone said John Cooper.
John Cooper sucked. If John Cooper was the best NHL coach, he would have brought Tampa to the promised land. And he hasn't.
The only person who should ever win the Jack Adams for Tampa
Sheldon Keefe. I'm sorry.
is the person that decided the tax rate. It's the reason the team's so stacked.
so like the governor of Florida.
But
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Torts, you can make a case for him. Columbus shouldn't have done good,
But they did.
No.
but they did, and that's partly due to coaching.
Yeah,
I think
I
it was
mean-
more the goalies were like, "Hey, you
No,
know, it'd be
it-
really funny if we were just fucking amazing."
It's got nothing to do with the goaltending. Like, yeah, those goalies are solid, but if you watch that tight
They play
1-2-2 system that Columbus plays and the commitment they take to forcing shots outside, it's completely the system, which is why I
He's
don't
well
hate giving it to
coached.
Torts. I also don't hate giving it to Barry Trotz, but Trotz also has Matt Barzell and fantastic goaltending
And
coaches.
Elaine Vigneault, is that how it's pronounced?
Vigneault.
Vigneault?
Vigneault.
Okay.
Alain Vigneault.
And I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, so Elaine, I'm just going to call him that.
Just call him Alan.
Just going to call him Barry.
Yeah.
All right, calm.
But
calm.
yeah, Elaine,
Okay.
I mean, I don't really think you can make. I'd rather Trotz over him. I mean, his case is okay. Yeah, you had a Philly team who was one goalie away from being a good team. Be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you didn't really coach all that much. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you made some good decisions here and there, but Carter Hart was like, "Hi."
No, it was just a great chemistry team, and the room was buzzing all season long. Like they
Oh,
just
Especially after Oscar Lindblom got cancer, then they really had a purpose
Yeah.
to play. So it's like,
the whole room was clicking. They just had a good situation, and honestly, if the season didn't get cut short, they probably would have gone deep.
but I mean, the
Yeah.
way I see it is Bruce Cassidy's been more than deserving of this. He came in
Yeah, I
halfway
agree.
through the season and brought the Bruins to a point where they were competing for a playoff spot.
Because when he came in, they were outside looking in, right?
Yes, and then he brought them to that point.
I mean, yeah.
Then
and
he
Ottawa
brings them to
kinda-
Then he brings them to the playoffs the next year, and then the year after that they go to the second round, and then the year after that they go to the Stanley Cup Finals and lose in Game 7.
By one Marchand change.
One Marchand shift change away from the Cup,
That one shift change, man.
and then after that, most teams that win the Stanley Cup or not win, lose the Stanley Cup Finals like that, take a step back. Bruins didn't. President's Trophy winners.
Yeah. Also, got to give it the whole situation in 2020 and coronavirus. It is a really unfortunate situation. I mean, I don't know who they would have played, but they would have played maybe like a. I mean, we don't know how good the Islanders would have been, how good the Canadians would have been.
Honestly,
we don't know if there would have been an easier pathway. Because last year we had a really, if you really think about it, we had our only challenge were the Leafs.
I hate when people say that. I hate when people say that. It's hockey playoffs. Anything can happen.
No,
just
I know
because
that.
the team on doesn't have Tampa Bay on the name doesn't mean they're not a good team. Every team is a fucking challenge when it comes to playoff hockey.
The Hurricanes got there for a reason.
I mean, yeah, they did, but they didn't have enough.
It's no fluke
gas
that
in
they
the
were
tank.
there. Like, okay, but you guys played Columbus. They swept Tampa.
Yeah.
Your quote unquote best team. Swept.
Kids
Yeah.
kind of scare me.
Carolina made it where they did for a reason. They beat Washington. It happens for a reason. They're good teams.
On Cassidy, now I'll let you guys talk. I will say that he's a fantastic coach, and I think he's done a lot to change the way Boston plays hockey, and he's brought them into the modern game,
You hear what he did to Martin?
which I'm not done.
He's not done. Shut up.
Which is why they weren't playing great back when thank you, Claude was the
Claude.
coach. I couldn't forget his name for some reason. The reason they weren't good is because they weren't playing modern hockey. They didn't play a style that suited that team. Playing a rough forechecking, solid, shutdown D game doesn't really suit David Pasternak.
I don't know. Just talk about
I
that
mean,
guy
it doesn't
built like
fly.
a fucking tank.
Like, he brought them into the modern game, but
but still has that defensive aspect.
yeah, and he still gives them that Boston identity, which is just playing good D. I don't think he's the best coach in the league. He's done as much as he should with the pieces he has. I mean, he's got a 1 AD man who's only going to get better. He's got a former 1 AD man who's on the decline but still solid. He's got a great top six.
Yeah.
He's got the best Bruins goalie of all time. He's got a 50-goal scorer. He's got one of the best two-way centers of all time. He's got a great winger on the other side who can play a good defensive game and put up a lot of points. He's got an all-right second-line center.
all
I mean,
right.
He's got
I
Jake
get the
DeBrusk.
argument.
Well,
I'm
I
just
mean, he's
stating,
got Coyle too. I think
Yeah,
Coyle
he-
take over.
I'm just stating as a statistical fact.
Yes,
He's
that's
the best.
a stat.
He's the best coach in the league. Yeah.
In terms of winning, sure. But, like, winning doesn't define a coach.
It's all winning when it matters. If you think about it, and
Okay, well, only like a few coaches win when it wins. when it
Yeah,
matters.
okay, if that was the case, they would just go to the cup-winning team every year. Whoever their coach is, all right, that's you. All right, here you go.
Oh, you won
I
the
mean,
cup,
I
okay.
feel like that's what they do. Kind of
Well,
like
no,
with,
they
like,
don't, because they vote before the playoffs start.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
they
is
do.
Good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
what
that's
you should
good.
do.
Which is why Which is why we had that Kucherov thing when they got swept. He's going up there accepting the Hart, and he's just like, "Can I go home now?"
That's kind of shitty too.
Well, I mean,
That's really
You
shitty.
can't predict that though.
Fuck him.
Yeah, I know.
And he went. He could have not gone. He could have been salty and not gone.
Starts punching the voters.
Also, fuck him.
Yeah, all my homies hate Kucherov. Fuck Kucherov.
I'll just say, the best head coach this season. I'll go Torts because he did the most with the least, in my
I'd say
opinion.
Sheldon Keefe.
No, the best coaching staff, I'd say Islanders,
Yeah.
just because they've been able to consistently resurrect goalies, and it's the same goaltending coaching that Trotz had with him in Washington. So when he left, they went with him. So, and that's why Holtby fell off the map. Probably he just didn't have the coaching
I
staff.
find this kind of funny, but Colorado's obviously they looking for a goalie. So I mean, who's the biggest name out there? Braden Holtby.
Yeah.
But it's kind of funny because Grubauer was the backup to Holtby for a while.
Yeah.
And, he might be the backup again. That would be kind of funny.
Oh my god, I'd be pissed.
Guy
he
actually
wanted
comes
the
out.
number one job.
Guy comes out and
Yeah.
actually becomes, a decent starter. He's a decent starting goaltender. And then he's like, motherfucker, this guy again?
No, I don't hate it. You bring him in and then you just tell him, look, we'll split it 41-41 unless one of you guys tells me otherwise with your play.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's the most ideal goaltending situation. Just say, look, you're both really good. I'll split it, directly down the middle. And if one of you guys makes an argument that you should get more, you're going to get more.
Real quick,
And if you want more, play better.
I forgot the Cassidy and Marchand thing. So obviously Marchand had his stint where he liked doing things that he shouldn't have, like
Yeah.
licking people.
Okay. Yeah. I'll put that. I'll put that in there for why he's a great coach. Whatever the hell he did, it worked.
Because
exactly
Marchand
what
was
he
like
did
a
came out.
complete different
He
player.
took him and his family to dinner. So it was all their families. They went to dinner, and he sat next to Marchand.
Marchand's like,
He
"Can you pass
sat next to Marchand and
Can
he goes,
you pass
listen,
the bread
you need to
bowls?"
cut the shit that you're doing on the ice. You're a fantastic player. Play like that. Don't be a scumbag.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Marchand just, when he's on the ice, just kind of forgets who he currently is. When he was on the ice back then, he thought he was who he used to be, which was not Brad Marchand.
Great article too. He actually wrote it himself for one of some fucking
Cassidy did.
no Marchand.
Marchand?
Oh.
Actually about him.
Oh.
And in that he was like, I was never the fastest or the strongest or the most skilled guy.
Yeah, Ted never knows.
I was never the best at anything that I did. I always had to bust my ass to be where I am.
When you're 5'9", yeah.
He's like, I always had to bust my ass, and I always had to get under other people's skin in order to get a spot on a team. So when you're that young and that's all you're doing to get a spot on a team,
Yeah, it's just a routine.
and on top of it, like you're constantly being told only 1% of you guys are going to make it to the NHL. He's like, well, this is what gets me where I am. This is what's going to get me to the NHL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't.
And it did.
It did, and I don't blame his thought process on it because yes, I mean that is what you had to do back then to get to the NHL. But the game changed. You're clearly more skilled than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about a player that developed himself, it's definitely Marchand because I believe they thought he was going to be like a fourth line type of guy. But he comes in. Next thing you know, he's scoring 70 plus points, 80 plus
Well, I
points,
mean, that
almost
was-
capped 100. Well, he
that
did
was
cap 100, right?
towards
Yeah.
the later part of his career. When he first
It took him a long time, but he got there.
He's one of those late blooming players, and there are a lot of them. That's how the Bruins find their gems. They're not the Oilers where they have McDavid coming in, they have Draisaitl coming in. They're not the Leafs where they have
the Bruins also
Matthews.
don't have every number one draft pick known to man.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Because they keep going deep. I mean, the problem I have.
it's a problem, but that's the thing. It's like, are they ever gonna really suck? Are they ever really gonna get
There is
to
a
that point?
scenario where they do.
That's how we got Joe Thornton.
There's a scenario where Bergeron takes a decline, Marchand takes a decline. They're in their 30s. It's going to
Eventually,
happen.
Pastrnak gonna
Hang
keep
on.
them up there.
Hang on. that Nico wasn't even playing center in the playoffs.
You can't even
He found his way back in that Tampa series, but he wasn't playing center. Now, he might get that shot next year. We'll see. But, you know, it's a great problem to have when you don't have those high draft picks, because that means you just keep going deep. Like, even like a top 15 pick, like, the Leafs have 15, which is good, but not great.
Yeah.
And they'll land them something pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in this year's
Yeah,
draft.
they'll get. I mean, I don't know. I know the defenseman draft is not deep. I don't know if they want to go.
Yeah, the D's not deep, but they have good options.
Yeah, they have options. Whether they want to go,
There's also
they don't need
free
a forward.
agency.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That is also too.
when declines come, you have trades and free agency. You can move assets and gain
Yeah,
assets.
that's the thing. With the
So-
best thing about being playing for the Bruins organization, that's an original 16. I'm sure every kid probably dreams about playing for an original 16, especially a team like Boston, Toronto.
Well, I don't think that really applies anymore.
You don't think so?
Dude, the league expanded in 67. I mean, it's been a long time since there's been original six.
Yeah, but who doesn't want
like,
to say I played
hockey
for
is a completely different sport. Like, they're using the same basic stuff, but it's completely different.
Yeah, but who doesn't want to play? Kids in Canada idolizing.
Yeah, but I also want to play for Minnesota. They're a great hockey state. I also want to play for California because the weather's gorgeous and their fans are actually pretty solid. You know, it's
I'd
like
play for Nashville.
I want to play for Seattle because that's a pretty cool city. I like Nirvana. Like,
I think he likes Nirvana. If you met me.
yeah, it's just like I mean, I like Dallas because their fans are loyal and they're loud. Same thing with Nashville. Like,
I like loud fans.
I
love
don't
Nashville.
think it really applies
You don't
anymore.
think so anymore?
No, I still
'Cause
think
there's
there's
even-
definitely that.
there's-
It's all region. If you grow up in an area, you're like, okay, I'd love to play for my hometown team.
Yeah,
Other than
but like
that, I
even-
don't think there's much story or history.
even so, it's like Arizona and Florida, the Panthers don't really get a lot of fans.
No one's gonna want to.
But like Phil Kessel's probably having a blast in Arizona because when he was playing in Pittsburgh and Toronto, he doesn't like dealing with the media. He likes just going about his business and keeping to
very
himself.
small fan base.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he has. Like
Yeah.
he's probably
He probably liked it because
yeah, he
Toronto
probably
media
likes
was
it there.
always up his ass.
yeah. I mean that's what you get with Toronto, and that's not the kind of guy he is.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I think it's easier because you got free agency now. Well, obviously there's always been free agency, but it's a different perspective to look at
I'm
it.
not opposed to signing, but it all depends on what they do via trades, what they draft, and what they bring in free agency.
Yeah, if the Bruins are bad, it's not going to be for long. Like
If
Max,
they are bad, it's because they won.
max 3 years.
Kind of like what they
Ideally, 1. But like if they are bad, because honestly, I think next season, especially with the 2 off seasons, basically that they had the break because of COVID,
Yep.
and now they're out, so they have another off season.
Mhm.
I think Bergeron's going to take a step back, maybe not a big one, but a step back. Marchand probably not, because he's those smaller guys tend
He
to
did.
stick around for longer, because Marchand doesn't take a whole lot of abuse.
Yeah, no. I mean,
Well,
he
like
does,
injury wise, he doesn't take a
but
whole
also
lot.
he's what is he, 31, 32?
32.
32? I mean, realistically, he's still a young guy.
Yeah,
In general, but
in normal life,
in
yeah.
normal life, but I mean, in hockey, he's still a really great. I mean, Bergeron's still a really great center.
Like,
I
yeah,
think players last a little bit longer now because of the fact that it's not as physical.
It's not as
these guys aren't getting killed anymore on the daily.
But I think Bergeron's got at least 4 more years left.
That stretch.
I mean, look at Char. I mean,
Hang on. 4 years of what he is now are just 4 NHL years.
I'm gonna say 2 years of current Bergeron, and then he'll decline.
Okay.
Like, you'll see he's not the same Bergeron anymore. He's not the 2011, not the 2013 Bergeron.
And he'll probably still look fine because he's got Pasternak next to him.
Exactly. See, the weird thing is they have that balance of veterans and young players.
Yeah, they have a good mix that's
They
hard to
have
come
a-
by.
And honestly, I want those to have a mix
Yeah.
until a certain point where
Well, yeah.
you're like, hey, we need to move on with some of the core. Except
Yeah.
for Bergeron, I'm saying now, Bergeron's going to retire as a Bruin.
I hope he does.
I
I'm not even a
think
Bruins fan. I just like those stories. I like career guys. It's like,
Oh yeah, where they stay
a good
with one
story.
team. Bergeron has, what was he, 4 Selkies under his belt. Also,
not a big deal.
Also
I
got,
would have loved to see him get the 5th.
also got snubbed.
Jean Couturier deserved that.
I mean, like, dude,
He
it's
got snubbed. I'm sorry, he got snubbed again.
dude. I don't don't even
It's all
really.
bullshit, to be honest. It's
The
a dumb
Selkie-
award.
The award voting, like the voting ones, they're just
It's
lazily done in my opinion.
Noah Chari got one first place vote.
Well, it's like,
Matthews got a first place vote.
Austin Matthews does
Yeah,
not
one.
play defense.
Leon Draisaitl got
Dude.
a first.
you know what you're talking about. He's not Bergeron,
No, but
he's
I'm sure he's defensively responsible.
Leon
He's-
Draisaitl
he-
is
every year
probably
he's gotten
one of the
better at
worst
it.
defensive players in the league, and he got a first place Selkie vote.
it's like I don't know, it's lazily done. Like, yeah, you can throw Bergeron in there any year, but like,
Every year he's
It's
going to be
super
a top
really, Connor McDavid doesn't get anything. Really,
He did.
nothing.
I'm saying
Well, yeah, he got votes, but like, I'm not talking for the Selkie. I mean, like, he's not gonna get any hardware, really, just because he didn't play an 82-game season. That's the only reason.
yeah, it's kind of. I don't know. I feel like you should change the vote.
Well,
because
nobody
it's-
did, but
It's such bullshit. It's so dumb. I feel like you should go off of statistics.
yeah, I mean that's even harder though.
Because I hate,
Well, like,
I feel like they gave kind of like when Anze Kopitar won when he won his Selkie, he had like a ridiculous amount of points. But Bergeron was better defensively. I feel like kind of like with the Norris Trophy, they give it to the defenseman with the most points. Why don't you give it to the defenseman who played a nice two-way defensive game?
even like the only reason that Kopitar won it that year is because he should have won it in years prior, and they just kind of gave it to him. Same thing when the year Doughty won his Norris. He wasn't the best D-man, but he should have got it like
kind of a pity.
he should have gotten it like 2 years ago. And then all the writers were like, all right, fine, we'll give it to you. Jesus. Like, there should be a Bobby Orr award and there should be a Norris. It's obvious which one the Bobby Orr is. Like,
The one who puts up the most points.
Offensive defenseman.
yeah, it's...
Yeah, see, I feel like then if you want to go in like who's the best defensive defenseman, I couldn't like. Who do you think right now is the best defensive defenseman in the league?
like, purely just playing D, or
Or
like,
just playing
or like a
defense,
defensive defenseman that can still break out the puck.
Torrey Krug.
a defensive like someone who didn't put up the most points but is a solid defense.
So like Josh Manson.
No, I'm
Um,
talking more of like. See, I don't even know, like the Ryan Suiters, like that.
Charlie McAvoy.
like the Ryan Suiters, the Seth Jones,
Oh.
the McAvoys.
Seth Jones gets fucking points though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he wasn't like
But
first
he's
place.
still
I mean,
amazing.
all right. So who won the Norris? Carlson, John Carlson. He won the Norris, or he's
Last
gonna win the
year.
Norris.
Did he have the most points?
Oh wait, was it last year that he won? I
I
forgot.
don't know who had the most points among D-men this year. I don't even remember.
I think John Carlson.
Was it
Okay,
Carlson?
Okay, so he'll
Because
probably
he was
get
on point for like a 40-goal season. Well, anyways, but is he defensively responsible?
it. No. He's
So
terrible
he's
in his
not
own
the
end.
best defenseman.
No, he's not.
Then
He's the best fourth forward. Which is what the Bobby Orr Award would be. It's the best fourth forward.
but then why?
Yeah, but
is
Bobby
it-
Orr could also play defense.
Well, yeah, but what was he mainly? A fourth forward.
He was whatever you needed him to be.
Yeah.
Dude, the guy was a plus hundreds, like 24 in one season.
I'm thinking, like, who would, in my opinion, be the best, like, defensive... I don't know. I'd put
I-
Pietrangelo up there.
Torrey Krug.
Yeah,
I'm
would
not
say
gonna put McAvoy there yet.
Ryan Suter. Ryan Suter's a pretty good defenseman.
Matt Dumba.
I'd put Suter in there, definitely.
Suter's,
It also
Eric
always seems...
Johnson.
Like, dude, it's so dumb. They're like the quote unquote requirements for the Norris. Okay, you need to put up a lot of points and you need to be right-handed. Like, for some reason, those are the requirements. Because who always wins it? A right-handed D with a ton of points.
Yeah.
Makes
Erik
no
Karlsson,
sense.
Drew Doughty,
Yeah,
all that bullshit.
Brent Burns.
is John
Didn't he get
Carlson
one?
right-handed?
John Carlson's right-handed.
Yeah.
Hey, Victor Hedman won one.
But,
Yeah.
Okay, but Victor Hedman is actually really good defensively.
He's really good
So
at special teams.
Yeah.
you wouldn't
He's
say he's defensive.
he's a really good 5-on-5 D-man. Don't get me wrong.
good penalty killer.
He's not the best 5-on-5 D-man.
You can expose him.
Yeah, but
Who
his
is the best
his special
5-on-5?
teams
Oh,
play
yeah,
makes
like
up
penalty
for
kill
it.
and
On
power
that
play?
team,
Yeah.
Ryan McDonough.
No, I'm talking about who's the best 5-on-5 in the league.
I think Ryan
Defensive.
McDonough's one of the best shutdown D-men in the league, too.
Honestly, and its only reason it's underrated is because he's a left shot. I'm gonna go Suter.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I think
say,
it's close between Pietrangelo and Suter.
Eric
And
Johnson's-
honestly,
What about-
I might even give it to
Petrangelo just because he does have a better first pass out of the
Now,
zone.
what about like a guy like Roman Yossi? But
Yeah,
see, when we say defenseman, we don't really pay, unless you're really looking at it, we don't really pay attention to how they play defensively. We look at what are they putting
you
in
have
the
to.
points.
Yeah, if you have to look for it specifically to judge
Like
it.
to be honest, I really can't think in my head who's like a really good defensive defenseman.
Eric Johnson.
Yeah, it's like for those of you listening, like earlier today, I was doing some scouting in Hudson. Like when I'm watching, I do intentionally look at D-men just because your eyes will naturally go to who's got the puck and what's he doing with it. But like, you really have to look for it specifically. I mean, you really do, which is honestly probably why the voting is done so lazily on the Norris.
Yeah, they just look at who had the most points.
Yeah, because there's like, especially like those, like there's a lot of writers in Toronto, Montreal, so I'll go with those cities.
Are they
Like,
going to be biased?
no, it's not that they're biased. It's because there's so much going on. They probably just don't have the time to watch who is actually the best defenseman. Like, they don't have time, so they just
I'd even throw Shea Weber up
they
there
just
too.
yeah. So they
Shea
just
Weber.
they open up their NHL app and they're like, all right, well, it's Carlson this year. All right, that's him, and that's who my vote
it's
is.
really lazy.
And then it's like, all right, well, I haven't really had time to watch Boston a ton this year, but I know Bergeron's sick, so I'll put him in there. And then people keep talking about Couturier, so I'll put him in there. You know, and then like,
Surprised Ryan O'Reilly didn't finish. Who did he finish top 3 or no? No, Mark's. Who finished top 3?
I don't remember.
Was
And then
it-
like
was it
Mark
Mark Stone?
Stone always gets snubbed because he's
winger.
He's
a winger, and it's not the best defensive center. Now is it NHL writers?
It's the
Forward.
best defensive forward.
Even
Yeah.
Marchand gets top 10 votes.
Yeah, I think Marchand's very good defensively.
And he's underrated because he's small.
Mhm.
And that's the only reason. Which is a fair reason because in defense you do need reach to an extent.
To an extent, but I
Get
mean,
it? Extent because, ha.
he's
Ha.
one of the best penalty killers in the league.
Yeah. I mean, that four-man unit is a nightmare. I can speak from experience.
I mean, not to be biased. Oh, hometown homeboy,
Hometown kid.
hometown kid, being biased, never. I think
The
Brandon-
pride of the Lowell Tingsboro border and the blank.
I think Brandon Carlo's so underrated
I don't think he does.
Defensively.
defensively. He doesn't put offensive numbers, obviously, but defensively, he's so underrated.
The guy has a hard time staying on his skates when he moves laterally. But
Yeah.
When he falls out, I'm like, I'm kind of used to this now. I'm like, oh, there goes
Like-
Carlo.
I'm
I'm
like,
not surprised.
Okay, Carlo. Before that, it was McQuaid. Before
If that's probably the only reason I wouldn't say he's underrated. If he works on it, then
I feel like he's just a one big motherfucker. That's why.
well, he's 6'5", like 220. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fucking huge. The guy would eat you.
yeah, for breakfast, just for breakfast, not
Just
even
for
not even a whole day.
Just a protein bar.
Yeah,
That
protein
you're
bar.
a Cliff
Protein
bar
bar?
to him.
Yeah,
Couple trade bait. I have Richie and more. Get Richie out of here.
the
I think-
trade bait. Who's taking it? Who's biting that hook? Nobody.
dude. Arizona. Arizona takes everybody.
calls up
That's
Anaheim.
exactly my fucking
Dude,
Anaheim was
dude.
like, wait. You want Nick Ritchie? Yeah. Well, what are you gonna give us?
Hang on.
They're probably like, yeah.
Boston calls up Anaheim. He's like, all right, I'm sending you an email right now. It's a trade offer. Well, not really a trade offer, but it's like a trade idea. So just open your email, and then he opens it. It's just a picture of an Uno reverse card. Or you just text it to the GM. Just text him an Uno card.
GM goes, damn, you really got me. Okay,
Yep.
fine. But yeah, imagine being Anaheim's GM and fucking Sweeney calls and goes, Heinen for Richie? And then you're like,
Sure.
yeah, no, you want Richie? Yeah, we want Richie. Go ahead. Take him. You said Heinen, right? Do it. Yeah,
We don't want
said
him.
Heinen. You guys are fucking dumb.
GM's like currently like he doesn't even know who Heinen is. He's just looking him up right now. Like as he's
like-
making the trade.
Wait,
He's signing the paperwork and he's looking him up on HockeyDB.
I don't even need to know who he is. I know he's better than Nick Ritchie.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's so fun because he did good in junior too. That's the weird thing. Like Richie did pretty good in junior.
Yeah, he was a top 10 pick.
Like,
He's
he-
a fucking overager.
Like, he
Overagers
was-
always do good.
no, he wasn't. He was drafted 10th Probably only because that was back when they drafted people for size, and that's the only reason they drafted him.
But he's young. He's only like 25.
Freddie the Goat.
Yeah, but he is what he is. He's not going to develop
Right.
anymore.
He hasn't developed since he was fucking, like, what, 13?
Yeah, no, because it's junior. Because
Puberty was the last time he really developed.
he had like an all right season in junior. Because like I looked into this previously, and then like he really took like had a top 10 conversation year, and then he got drafted. So I don't know.
Still,
What else do you guys want to talk about? I think we're rambling a little bit here. And
Um,
I actually
don't
have
know.
to get out of here soon.
Yeah,
I really
can
like
I-
the fuck Nick Ritchie conversation.
I know you guys aren't big football fans. I just want to say Pats won today. Cam
Oh,
Newton
good.
overrated. Once he that's a rush first, pass second team. Once they find a good pass rushing
How did he
team.
do? What was his numbers?
Let me check.
Because I'm
After you say that, we'll end it off because I got to get to
All right.
I get to Boston.
Yes,
See
sir.
Stats.
Bro. I have some shit to
Cam
tell you.
Newton,
Oh, okay.
15 for 19, 155 yards, 0 passing touchdowns.
That's
okay.
all right.
Oh, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Okay, my man.
That's not bad
Also,
though.
No, that's a good debut. I like that.
You heard
Yeah.
it here first. Broncos are winning the Super Bowl this year.
You say that every year. It's like me with the
I
Bruins.
say that every year.
One of these times we'll be right though.
One of these times I will be right.
Sometimes I'll also be right. But yeah, we love you guys. All 8 of you.
All 80 of you.
All 8? That's
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Wait,
That's all we got.
all
right,
what?
boys.
We love our OGs. And you
Yep.
know what? We hope you guys enjoyed Evan. If you want to see
More?
more of Evan,
Yeah, maybe
If
we'll,
I get a
maybe we'll need to have a talk with Dylan.
if I get a Sunday off from work
then
and Dylan's not here,
do you want to plug the Twitter?
plug the Twitter.
Oh,
What
no,
is
don't plug the Twitter. His Twitter's jeez.
I have
Hey,
No,
hey.
no,
I have a pinned tweet.
no. You can follow
Ty has
us.
a pinned tweet.
I
You
have
heard
a
it here
pinned tweet.
first.
You can follow us at Beantown Boys Pod.
I follow
And
Beantown.
Hey, my
What?
Twitter's
No,
in the bio.
yeah, we're-
my Twitter's in the bio.
we're in the-
I mean, he deserves to be
Can
plugged.
I say
No.
what my profile picture
No,
is?
no. We'll
It's a
see you
Guy
guys next
Fieri
week.
baby.
We'll see